Oh wait. Oh hell no. Wait. This bad. This dude. This better be on because it said Sunday. This dude. This man. I better see one. I better see two eyes in here. Oh my God. I
We
better see
live.
two eyes in
We
here.
live on both channels.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, I was about to get more upset than a woman at the whatever. Okay. All right. Is everybody in here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, all right. All right. I think we're good to go. All right.
I believe we are.
All right. We didn't even go over anything to talk about, but we're just gonna wing it. Uh
What we do.
yeah. All right, very good. Kale is okay, very good. Kale is in the building. Why am I nervous? I don't know. Probably, dude. I almost lost my drone today. It was very, very harrowing experience.
I bought a drone. Listen to this. Me and my wife, we bought a drone. One of the little cheap ones, like 50 or 60 bucks. And we took it to the park and we were flying it, and my son was chasing it. And then he started playing soccer, so we started messing with it a little bit more, and we started flying it over the water. And I didn't know the radius on that bitch. That bitch flew way out over the water and just dropped, boom, right into the.
Man, yeah, I had a man. This one dude, I was flying my drone. Long story short, it landed on a roof, and he had this long, bro. It was like a roof, like ladders. I got a fear of ladders. I get man. I'm not gonna lie. I got two fears: babies with balloons. Don't get me around a baby with a balloon because I know it's gonna pop. So you're waiting for it to pop, and I'm like, and then I hate watching dudes on ladders. Bro, like he was like, yeah, man, I don't know if I said, I'll give you $100, man. He's like, all right, went up there, got my drone.
Hey,
Um,
when I
uh,
when I first when I first got out of prison, the first job I ever had was roofing. I was working for a company called Chase Roofing. Man, they had me on like fucking 6-story pitched roofs in fucking the middle of overtown in Miami, climbing up fucking 40-foot ladders. You gotta literally, you need two people to carry the ladder like this. The bitches are heavy. 40-foot ladders.
Kenosha 3-point shooter with the 199. What is going on? Okay, guys, I want to introduce my special guest. Some of you guys, obviously, some of you guys know who he is because I know you guys watch his channel. Some of you guys that I see. If you don't know who this man is, this is Pino. He's a fellow YouTuber. Um, basically, not to typecast him, but I don't want to say he's just a prison YouTuber, but that's how you got known. You were in prison. You did quite a bit of time in prison, and then you got out, and then you're like, okay, with the YouTube. Um, I know a lot of people. I know some people in here are already going to want to get me to get into drama, and we'll talk a little bit about stuff. But what I wanted to talk to you about is something that because when everybody, you've been on other platforms. You were on a big one, Adam 20, No Jumper,
Yes, sir.
and and I watched it a long time ago, so I don't remember exactly what was said, but nobody really talked about your prison time. Like they talked about like the beef between you and so, and we'll get into that. But nobody talked to you about like what it was like to be in prison. I've never been in prison. I've only been to jail. I've been to jail quite a few times, and I ain't proud of it. It's the stupid things when I was younger. So why don't you take us into like I don't know, like your start, like what happened? Why'd you go to prison? Uh, yeah, start from there.
I mean, I've been getting locked up since I was a shorty, since I was young. My first time going to the juvenile detention center, I was 12 years old. Um, and it was actually for some shit I didn't even do. Some kids were throwing rocks down the street. I was one of the only white kids in the neighborhood, so I got blamed. And they believed it or whatever. The police came and they charged me for throwing a missile out to a dwelling. Had to do 21 days. Uh, but here and there, from the age of 12 all the way to I got EOS on my last 5 years ago on my last bid. It's been nothing but in and out, in and out. So it wasn't really hard to adjust, honestly. I'm just being 100% honest. When I grew up going in and out of the juvenile system, the juvenile detention center, graduated from the juvenile detention center to the county jail, then from the county jail graduated to prison. So it was just it was more of just adapting to a new environment. It wasn't really hard. It was something I was used to.
So when you first went to prison, you were young.
When I first went to prison, I was 18. I had just turned 18. I'm sorry, I was 18 when I caught the charge. I was 19 when I got sentenced to prison. So I was just legal, yeah.
What's your first night in prison?
I'm gonna tell you crazy shit. So everybody my first time going to prison was a youthful offender prison for 3 years. I got sentenced to 3 years Florida State Prison as a youthful offender. I was 19 years old. If anybody knows youthful offenders, you got to be there from 25 and under. And it's gladiator school. When I got to South Florida Reception Center in B-Dorm, because they had moved the YOs from the open bay to behind the door in B-Dorm, my roommate, this was in 2009. This was before they had they separated you by time, because now if they put you in a cell with somebody, that person's most likely going to have the same amount of time as you. But back in 2008, cigarettes were still on the canteen. They put anybody you want and anybody they want in the cell with you. And my roommate's name was Reek. Reek was 19 years old with a life sentence. And it kind of blew my mind, because I was the same age and I'm just getting to prison. Everybody gonna boot you up with these stories. Yo, when you get to the YO camp, you gotta pop off on the first person you see. You gotta beep out your issue and this, that, and the third. But that ain't the first thing that I experienced. The first thing I experienced was meeting my roommate who had a life sentence.
What? Well, obviously, a stupid question about
what he did, and it's crazy. Yeah. The craziest thing. It's the craziest shit in the world. He used to tote fire. So
what is that?
He used to tote guns. So him and his old lady got into an argument about the guns being in the house. He came home one day with the fire, and she tried to pull it out of his hand, tried to pull the gun out of his hand to tell him she doesn't want it in the house, and it shot her in the face.
Oh, damn. But, yeah. Okay, so it was purely accidental.
It was purely accidental, but they still gave him a life sentence.
I mean, did the prosecutor, from your recollection of speaking with him, did the prosecutor think it was a murder and that he was lying?
I didn't get too deep into his story like that, but I mean, it's your word against a dead body, honestly. If you don't have people to back up your story,
yep.
If you don't have cameras or people to back your story up, and this is in 2008. We're in 2022 now, so it's a lot more cameras nowadays. But if you don't have shit to back your story up, you going in for a body. If you got a dead body in front of you and your fingers are on the prints and your hand matches gunpowder.
Yeah. What was his name again? Trey?
No, his name was Reek from Palm Beach County. Yeah, R-E-E-K, like stank, like Reek.
Oh, well, hey, Reek, if you're watching out there, maybe you have a keister phone. A big shout out and a howdy doody from Ohio.
He was the first person. Hey, listen, every time I've been to South Florida Reception Center, my bunkies that they put me in the room with always had life sentences.
Okay, so
on my second bid, when I went back, I had a 74-year-old truck driver who was in there for running somebody over in his truck and leaving the scene of the accident. He killed the person. He ran the person over in his truck, left the scene of the accident. They caught up with him. They gave him a life sentence.
A life sentence? Well, yes.
Yeah, he ran him over with the 18-wheeler and kept going. He had been in there. He got sentenced when he was in his early 40s, and he was like 74 when he was my roommate. 74 years old. I got him high on K2 for the first time.
K2, in case nobody knows, is synthetic marijuana, as far as I know. How do you get K2 in prison?
I mean, there's tons of ways. I mean, the guards, fuck it, the guards.
Yeah, everything is the guards. Okay, everything is the guards that bring everything in. Okay. All right. So your first night in, you're in prison. You're 19 years old. Are you scared?
I mean, of course, even like, I wouldn't say scared. I would say more along the lines of nervous. Cause like when I walked through them gates at South Florida, and the YOs were just coming up off the rec yard, everybody looking, and you feel that tension. Plus, you feeling all the stories from the county jail where people telling you, oh, you're gonna have to grit as soon as you get there. They're gonna jump you. They're gonna do this, that, and the third. Which a lot of them stories are true. So it builds up like a nerve wracking as soon as you get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've I'm from Los Angeles originally. I've never been to prison, but I've been to LA County Jail, which is kind of like a prison. So I know that Florida and California, as far as I know, anyways, are they're ran vastly different. Uh, California prison is very segregated. It's very racist. I'm just going to call it what it is. If you're white, you can't talk.
Florida's not
I mean,
that
you
way.
can talk to the blacks, but you can't hang out with them. You can't take anything. But it's not like that in Florida.
No, it's not like that nowhere on the East Coast.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. I think it's really only like it'll be
That's
like
an
an
out
Arizona,
west thing.
Utah. Yeah, that the
That's an out
racism
west
is.
thing. You go to New York, you go to Virginia, Florida, Georgia, any other prison on the East Coast. It's not like that.
Okay, so you're in prison and you're 19 and you're very apprehensive because you're like, okay, this is my first experience here. I don't know what's going to go on. I don't know what's happening. Uh, who did you like link up with any? Did you have any alliances with like certain people? Did you stick to only white guys or only black guys? Like, how did it work for you?
So I was banging before the street. I was involved in that type of life before the street. If anybody knows Florida prisons now, maybe back in the early '90s and late '90s, Florida prisons was more on home team, but as of like the early 2000s, that changed. All Florida prisons is run by like gang activity. So when I first got to prison, I ran with a couple people that were from around the way, because when you first get into prison, you got to understand you're going to a reception center. So you're going to go with me. I went to South Florida Reception Center. So I'm around people from Broward, Dade, Palm Beach, and Fort Myers. So of course I linked up with a couple of Chicos from Dade. They were GDs. Uh, there was a couple of Lokes on the pound. We linked up, but it's just so different when you're a YO than from when you're an adult. For instance, there was a GD on the pound with me at South Florida who I was tight with, who I would pop we would shake up, he would pop a pitchfork with the set and everything. We were that cool. 2 years down the line, when I go to two different prisons already, I'm at my second prison. I'm at Lake City Correctional Facility. He's not a GD no more. He's a blood. Yeah, shit's crazy.
Okay.
Shit's crazy. And you see that type of shit in the youthful offender prisons. You see that. You'll see somebody that was a blood at this camp, and then they go to the next camp and they repping ZMF. They don't want to rep blood no more. They repping Zo Mafia now, which is another Florida gang. So you see off-brand shit like that in youthful offender prison. But you got to understand, again, you're around nothing but people that are under the age of 25 years old.
Why would somebody change a gang?
It could be all type of reasons. They got X'd out on one compound. The Bloods didn't ride for them, or the G's, whatever set they were, didn't ride for them on a compound, and they didn't like it, or they got into it with their head and they don't give a fuck no more. And another gang sees that they know how to fight, or they're about their issues, so they're like, hey, okay, we'll take you over here, but it's some circumstances and blah blah blah. And that's just what it is. They do that shit in youthful offender prisons. Now, when you go to an adult prison, it's a whole different ball game. Youthful offender prisons and adult prisons is everything is a whole different ball game.
Which one is worse?
It depends what type of person you are. If you're a person that ain't got no problem fighting, then adult camp is worse. You'd rather go to a YO camp. But if you're a person that don't like to fight, and you're not gonna fight about yours, you better off going to an adult camp and trying to stay as far off the radar as possible. But
right.
the thing is at the YO camp, yeah, there's times when you'll have a jit that's gonna try to kill you. He'll try to stab you and take you off the map. But most of the time, they're just trying to hurt you. They're not trying to kill you. When you go to adult camp, they're trying to kill you.
And when you say kill, like with knives?
Yeah, they're trying to kill you. They're trying to end your life.
Okay, so let's talk about, yeah. So let's talk about your first fight. Like how did your first fight? Like what happened? Like how
in prison or
yeah, like how long were you in prison until your first fight happened?
Shit, my first fight was it locked up. You saying my first fight locked up?
Yes, locked up in prison.
In prison, my first fight locked up was as soon as I hit the compound.
All right, so tell us what happened.
As soon as you hit a youthful offender prison, you gotta understand, you're gonna go to an orientation dorm. You're gonna go to like at Lancaster, they had I think it was K dorm or Y dorm or something like that. And they wear orange hats. They pass out hats on the compound to separate a youthful offender prison, to separate the compound and know who's who. You're gonna wear orange hats in orientation. You're gonna be in orientation for 2 weeks. Most likely, you're not gonna fight in orientation, just for the simple fact you're around everybody that's around you in orientation is just coming to the prison as well. You see what I'm saying? Only a few people are getting transferred from other prisons. So orientation is not really where you need to worry about for your first 14 days in the youthful offender prison. You need to worry about when you hit the dorm, because when you hit the dorm, you literally, it's an open bay dorm. When I was there at Lancaster, B1 and B2 was the open bay dorms. So when you are walking towards those dorms, you have to go to B1 or B2 before you go to a cottage dorm, to a permanent dorm, which is they have D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K all around the compound or whatever. But B dorm is where you're gonna go first. So when you hit B dorm, there's literally people looking out the window, watching you walk up the walkway. However many people are coming from orientation, 10 people with their bags. They're gonna have all this shit wrapped in a sheet or in a blanket or whatever they got. They're gonna have it over their shoulder, wrapped in a blanket. There's gangs at the window picking individuals out, saying, I got dibs on this one. I got dibs on that one. Oh, that's my homeboy from the street. Don't nobody fuck with him. I got dibs on that one. Literally. And they're not having dibs for your booty. They having dibs to extort you for your canteen.
Okay. Okay.
That's youthful offender prisons.
So when they say I got dibs, so they think they're just gonna take whatever you have away from you.
Yeah. They picking who they want and whoever. So for instance, say I'm at the window and I'm looking at orientation coming in, and I say I got that one in the back. I got the one with the glasses in the back. That means that everybody that's around me at that window, whether they're Zo Mafia, Blood, GD, they know that whatever organization I'm part of, just put my paws on that person. So when he comes in the dorm, don't nobody step to him but my organization, and we're gonna go press him. And then, he'll go sit on his bunk, or somebody will walk up to him and try to tell him where his bunk. Hey, come here, check this out. This is where your bunk's at. Da, 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 da. And it might be 3 or 4 people just sit down on the bunk and, hey, check this out. If you want to live here, you're going to have to pay rent. Bah, 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 bah. And 9 times out of 10, people going to be like, yeah, I want to fight, whatever. And then you're just going to get jumped if you're not part of a gang. If you're part of a gang, you're going to get a one-on-one. Sometimes you might get jumped.
Okay, so when you say youthful offender, this is a prison that everybody's under the age of 25.
Correct.
And so you either have to be in a gang, or you just get beat up all the time and get robbed and get extorted.
When I was in prison in 2008, exactly, correct.
So
correct.
What if
2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, even when I went back to prison, but I didn't go back to youthful offender prison. I went to adult camp, but it was still the same thing. The prisons are run by gangs.
Okay, so you get to the youthful offender prison, and you're walking with your stuff, right? Did somebody say to you, "Oh, I got dibs on this guy"?
No, because people already knew who I was from the reception center. So
Oh, okay.
9 times out of 10, if you're part of an organization and you're so this is the little game that's played. When orientation dorm walks by, you're gonna hear people from regular dorms be like, "So woo, Carib, Carib," and they're gonna look for their brothers in orientation. So if there's another Crip or a Blood or a GD, they're gonna make themselves known, or they're gonna send a kite to the compound or whatever. So once they do hit a regular dorm, all they're gonna get is a TOH.
What is that?
A test of heart. They're gonna have to fight somebody. They don't a TOA. You don't never know what your TOA. It's not like you just gonna say, "Hey, you gotta fight this person," because you never know what your TOH is. I've personally done somebody's TOH, and I didn't even have a part in it. I sent 3 people from another gang that I was cool with at the person and was like, "Hey, go check him. Don't beat him up. Just act to see if he gonna fight." And they ran up on him. All 3 people ran up on him. Was like, "What's up, bro? You got to come up off that canteen." And he put his hands up like he was gonna fight. And that was it. That was his TOH right there. We just needed to know that he was gonna get down if 3 people or 4 people ran down on him.
Okay. All right.
Or
Sounds like
you could get a more violent TOH. You can get 2 or 3 members of your crew or whatever, and they're just gonna fade you and beat the shit out of you and see what you bumping on.
okay. Sounds like a place that I don't want to be, don't want to visit
Not.
anyways. No,
That
I'm
shit
way
rough.
I'm way too soft for that nonsense. But stuff happens. I could have easily went to prison myself.
You
I guess.
adapt though. Most people adapt. Most people they I mean, if you just have that personality where you're not a pushover, you're gonna adapt.
Okay. So let's go back to your first fight. What happened?
My first fight was actually with my brothers. So in prison. So when I got to the I've told this story on YouTube before. When I got to the compound, there was no hoovers on the compound. It was every organization on a youthful offender, they try to go by like, they try to be more structured on youthful offenders. So if you're in a organization, you're gonna have a head, you're gonna have 2 heads, you're gonna have 3 heads, and then a universal crown holder that has the say so over all 3 heads, or whatever the case may be, a lieutenant, a chief on the compound, whatever the case may be for your gang. Well, there was no hoovers on the compound. It was nothing but rolling Crips on the compound, and I had to fight 5 rolling Crips on the and a GD because they didn't have another Crip in the dorm, and they were tied flags with the GDs. I had to fight 5 Crips and 1 GD just to sit there and still rep Hoover on the compound around a bunch of rolling 60s, and there was a couple rolling 30s.
And we're going to get into your gang affiliation later. So, all right. So, so take us through with the fight. Did you win? Did you lose?
Hell no.
Are you a ninja? Like, are you the best fighter on the planet?
Nah, hell no. Listen, so one of the dudes I was actually kind of tight with, I had came in the dorm, but I knew him, so I was kind of tight with him. But he was I ain't gonna lie to you, he was the smallest one out the group. His name was JoJo. He was a rolling 30s. He was the smallest one out the group. So when we went to, so they have a grid. They're gonna slide the grid. When they say slide the grid, that means the officers ain't looking, because you gotta understand they got an officer station. The officers ain't inside the pod. They inside the officer station, and it's a glass window with bars over it. So when they say slide the grid, that means you move the bunks over, because it's an open bay door. You're gonna slide the bunks over. You're gonna create a little space to fight. So anyways, I go in the grid. I got 6 people to fight. The only thing I could do was latch on to JoJo, he was literally directly in front of me, but he was the smallest out the group. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was 6 of them. But I latched on to JoJo and took JoJo to the floor and started hitting JoJo while all of them were jumping off bunks and kicking me in the back of the head and all type of crazy shit. But it only lasted like 30 seconds, maybe 29 seconds. I wouldn't even say it lasted a minute, bro.
Okay, so after that, what happens? Like you're good, or you can proceed about your business?
After that, I was straight. After that, from the head, it came down onto the compound that I was straight to rep the set on the compound.
Okay, so your first prison bid was, you did what, 3 years?
36 months.
Okay, so you get out of prison, you're 20. What are you? What are you? 22, 23?
21.
Okay, you're 21
Fresh.
years old. You get out of prison. What do you do?
So when I
I
got
mean,
out of
other than like salacious stuff. I mean, like talking about.
I honestly, I'm gonna keep it G with you. So when I got out of prison, I was sentenced to 3 years Florida State prison, followed by 2 years community control. If anybody knows what community control is, it's a Florida thing. It's the same thing as house arrest, kind of. You can't accept without. They have community control with a monitor, and then they have community control without a monitor. I had it without a monitor. As soon as I was released from prison, I had 2 years community control, which is like house arrest. You can't leave the house. You have to fill out a weekly schedule every Tuesday. You have to fill out a weekly schedule that tells what you're doing every hour of the day. You can't leave the house unless you're going to the barbershop, the grocery store, and this is only one time a week. You can go to the barbershop, the grocery store, church, and any type of like classes that you're doing to better yourself or whatever. You can throw those on. Like if you just try to get out the house and do self-betterment classes and stuff, you can throw them on and you can get out the house to do that. But or work. Other than that, you can't leave the house. So when I first got out, I was like, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was scared to walk down the street. I ain't gonna lie, I was paranoid. I was on community control. Like my mailbox was outside the house. I'm talking about I run to the mailbox, grab the mail, and run back in. Scared somebody to see me outside the house and call the police and make me go back to jail, bro. I promise you. So that only lasted like a month and a half before I just was like, man, fuck that shit. And I just started doing me. I was like, shit, my community control, they come out to your house once a week too, at random times. They just pop up. So I was like, shit, my community control officer just came and see me. I know she ain't coming back till next week. So I started going out. Every time she would come, I would go out afterwards. And it just led to more and more and more and more to the point where I was just like, man, fuck that shit. I ain't even checking in with probation no more. Fuck that. Fuck community control. And I left. I cleared the whole county and ended up getting caught down the line like 5 months later with new charges.
Okay, so you ended up getting the rest of your original sentence plus new charges.
So I got a VOP plus new charges, a violation of probation plus the new charges.
So what was your sentence?
The sentence was 3 years followed by 2 years community control. But when I got out on the community control, I violated. I left after like 2 months. I left, so I had an absconding warrant issued for me. When they caught up with me, they hit me with a whole new slew of charges. Burglaries and all type of dumb shit that I was participating in, whether I was actively participating in or inactively participating in, whether it be through a phone call or whatever. I was just getting into dumb shit. You feel me?
Okay. Before we begin, let's take a break.
Sir.
I bought a new comic book, right? It cost $45. I'm cool, right?
$45?
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Is it a collector's edition?
No, it's just an old comic book from 1952. That's pretty cool, right?
I mean, like if that's what you like, if you like collecting comic books, I mean, my homeboy collects Batman. Like everything's Batman, so he got plenty of Batman comic books that are still in the wrap and everything from like early age when Batman was first brought around.
So if I went to prison with my comic book, I would be accepted by everybody would pretty much say like, dude, this guy's totally cool to go. He could just have a seat and eat his honey buns and his top ramen and be fine, right?
Yeah, you'll be straight. I mean, it's not like you think. Like we've been speaking on youthful offender prisons. So youthful offender prisons, no, you won't be straight with your comic book. They'll probably steal your comic book. You know what I mean? You'll probably have to sleep with the motherfucker. But in an adult camp, it's different. It's adult in Florida adult prisons. Everything is based off of respect. If you lack respect, you can lose your life.
I mean, whatever.
Listen, hey, listen. I had a homeboy in the dorm with me at Santa Rosa Correctional Institution in adult prison, right? He was a little short white boy. He was 5'2", had all type of like Celtic knots, and like he was a little Irish kid. And he was into like Dungeons and Dragons. He would make homemade Dungeons and Dragons boards and everything. And he would have people in the pod participating with him. A lot of them, you know, they weren't on shit. But him, he'll pull out a knife that was bigger than him, and he'll stab the fuck out of you. And nobody messed with him. Nobody messed with him because, like I said, it's about respect. In adult camp, it's about respect. If you, like, for instance, if you're walking up the tier and you're walking towards your cell door, and it's cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, cell 4, cell 5 right there, and all the doors are open, you're not gonna walk by and just look inside the cells as you're walking by, because that's a form of disrespect.
Right.
That's people's houses. People, and you got to understand, when I say people's houses, a lot of people in the free world, they're going to laugh like, ha, 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 your house. But these motherfuckers have multiple life sentences. This is their house. This is where they'll live. They've exhausted all appeals. This is where they'll live for the rest of their life. So you have to treat it as such. When you're on the street, you don't walk by looking in people's windows.
No, that's a very good analogy.
The same thing is in prison. You could literally lose your life. You could walk by and you could probably see, for instance, you could see somebody sharpening their knife that, or bagging up K2 or doing something that they don't want you to see. Or you could see somebody fucking a boy that belongs to another person. And yes, that goes on in adult prison. There is, I want to use the correct word, homosexuality in adult prisons. So that goes on. But if you happen to walk by and see some shit that person don't want you to see, now you have to watch your back. So it's better to just fucking keep your eyes down and walk to your fucking room, or look at the TV, or look at people in the day room and walk to your room. Don't look in people's cells. And it's a lot of small stuff like that that is based off of respect in prison, in adult camps. That's what makes adult camps different than youth offenders. Youth offenders ain't got no fucking respect at all. That shit is completely out the fucking window.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen in prison?
I've seen somebody's head get like I don't know what you enveloped, or I don't know the word for it. Okay, so when you slide the doors this was at ACI, Appalachian Correctional Institution in R2. When you slide the doors, they're on a track. The track sticks up about this far off the ground. I watched the person's head get like implanted in the track from a foot. Like, so it started in the cell. They were beating them up. It's a long story. The dude that they beat up had a death wish. He had a life sentence. He had exhausted all his appeals, and he was just on a death wish. He was borrowing K2 from everybody and not paying them back. And that was literally he wanted somebody to kill him. He didn't want to be in prison no more. He was suicidal, all type of crazy shit. So what he did is rack up K2 debts from everybody. $150 here, $200 here, $50 here, $20 here, $15 here, with promises to everybody that he was gonna pay them back, and he never paid nobody back. It caught up with him. They ended up jumping him in the cell, but that wasn't the worst part. When they drug him out the cell, he was holding on to the door like this, and they started stomping his fucking head, and then his head I don't know how to explain it. It went into his head. The fucking shit. They had to pull his head. They had to bring nurses and all type of medical staff in to try to pull his head because the metal was creased into his head.
Did he die?
No, he didn't die. He got airlifted. He didn't die though. No.
A lot of people are, because I'm not really reading the comments, but a lot of people, and I'm going to be wondering too. We're going to talk about prison sex. The movies, the movies are the movies. I don't know personally, because I don't really have. I mean, I've talked to people in prison on some other stuff, but your experience in youthful offender programs and adult, what's the real deal with prison sex?
What do you mean by that? I'm trying to figure it out. Hold on, Lamont. What do you mean?
I mean, what's the, how does that work? Like, is there such thing as prison rape? Is there,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes. Correct. There's there, and youth offender prisons. No, it's like kind of unheard of. You'll see homosexuals in youth offender prison, but they were homosexuals on the street. They just
Oh,
were
okay.
punks that got locked up. But
Right.
in adult camp, it's a whole different story. But it's how you carry yourself. If you carry yourself, you gotta understand you're in a jungle, bro. If you carry yourself like a weak ass little sheep, bang on every fucking corner, you're gonna attract vultures. You're gonna attract people that'll fucking. You'll be sitting on your bunk listening to your radio. They'll come sit down next to you and be like, "What's up, bro? Where you from?" And start talking, and they'll finesse you. They'll finesse, yeah. They'll boom, boom, boom. They'll be cool with you, and oh yeah, you can borrow a bag of chips. You can borrow this, that, and the third. They're gonna want some ass later down the line. That shit really does happen. You really do have finesses that will try to finesse, like if you're that type of person. But again, it's how you carry yourself. If you don't carry yourself like that, then you won't be tried like that. However, I have seen crazy shit. I see, like I've told it on my last live that I seen a gang member get his ass took. I didn't see it, but he checked in the next day and the story got around that the dude that was in his cell stabbed him in the leg, sat next to him on his bunk, stabbed him in his leg, pulled him over, took his ass, and then the next morning when they called medical call, the dude checked out. And he was a gang member. The dude was a fucking gang member. And he got raped. He just happened to lock down in the cell with somebody that was bigger than him and had a bigger knife than him and caught him off guard and raped him.
So at the prison you were at, was there a known person that was a booty bandit?
Yeah, there was known people that were booty bandits. However, like it's not like they were just. It's not like the 80s and the early 90s when booty bandits ran in packs and they tried to take your ass. They would come 3-4 deep in the cell and take your ass. Nah, it's a select few motherfuckers who've been in prison for like 40, 50 years and they were around when people were taking ass. They're just not, they know that they can't take ass no more because of the PREA, which is the Prison Rape Intervention Act, and the blue phones on the wall and all type of secure stuff where people have, that they can, if they get raped, they can call out and be like, "Hey, I got raped." They can scream rape. You know what I mean? It wasn't that wasn't the case in the 80s and 90s. People were getting raped then. Now it's more like I said, a bitch will try to finesse you. If you're sweet like that, if they feel like they can finesse you, they'll finesse you. And then next thing you know, motherfucker wants some ass from you. So it's either fight, fuck, break it off, or burn the fuck up. Period.
Okay, so let's say that Booty Bandit X, we'll just call him Booty Bandit X. Let's say he sees some clown carrying a comic book thinking that he's cool. And he's like, "Hey, he wants to get this guy." Is there an area, like, what does he do? Does he like tell everybody, like, "I'm gonna get this comic book"?
Everybody. He's gonna try people that are. These are the type of people that he's gonna try. A person who just comes into the dorm, who really doesn't know nobody, but he got a whole bag full of canteen, and he's watching this guy, and this guy's like letting people borrow canteen. He's being friendly, going from door to door, talking to everybody. He done talked to every bitch in the dorm. That is a person that's not carrying himself right. Because as soon as a booty bandit sees that, he's like, "Oh shit, he done talked to everybody else in the dorm. My turn." He gonna go sit down, play some cards with you. And it's not gonna be like he just gonna sit down and be like, "I want your ass. I want your ass." No, he gonna sit down. You're gonna be sitting at the table. Hey, you play cards? You wanna play some casino? You wanna play some tonk? And you don't know it until somebody tell you. That's why when you're in an organization, people are gonna tell you, like, "Hey, people who've been on the compound, like, hey, that dude's a booty bandit. Don't go nowhere near the dude. Don't even communicate with buddy." You see what I'm saying?
Why doesn't anybody, like, why don't they take that dude out? Like, as in, why don't they take him out? You know what I mean? Like, beat him up. Why doesn't, like, all right, let's get this dude.
like I said, Florida based on respect. I mean, if he ain't disrespecting everybody in the dorm, I mean, if he want to pray on the weekend and do whatever he does, that's on him. It's a lot of this shit is mind your business and respect. That's literally what Florida's about. You can't tell a motherfucker who been in prison 43 years and got 4 fucking life sentences that he not finna rape that person. You just not gonna get involved. I mean, if that person's your homeboy that you know from the street or something, and you're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna have my homeboy's back. We're gonna go out, we're gonna stab this dude to death, we're gonna do what it do, get this dude up off you, make him get off the compound. That's all fine. But 9 times out of 10, when they pick a victim, that victim ain't got nobody with him.
So it sounds to me that Florida prison has no structure. There's nobody that's like is there a shot caller for the whites? Is there a shot caller for the blacks? Or is it just...
It's not the same thing as the West Coast. There is no such thing as a shot caller for the whites, a shot caller for the blacks, a shot caller for the Latinos. It's you got the head of the Bloods, the head of the Crips, the head of the Zoes, the head of the Cutthroat Committee, the head of the DVDs, the head of this, the head of Nietas, the head of the Latin Kings. That's just how it is. It's not no.
So it's like
I need to check
everybody for
in with
themselves.
a pod boss. There's no such thing in Florida. I need to check in with a pod boss. The pod boss runs the pod. I seen that shit on 60 Days In. That shit do not go down in Florida at all.
Yeah, it's wild, bro.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah. Even in LA County Jail, there's a Wood rep. There's a Southsider rep. There's a Border Brothers or the Paisas. There's their rep. There's a black rep. But in county jail in Los Angeles, there will be no black people with anybody else. They are totally separate.
Yeah, see, Florida, you'll see white GDs, black GDs, white Crips, black Crips, white Latin Kings, I've seen black Latin Kings. Man.
Yeah. In LA or in California, if you're black, you can roll with the Southsiders. You can roll, like, if you're white, you can roll with the Crips. It ain't like that, but everyone's gonna side eye you.
It's not about race like that. There's only one race gang in Florida. That's the Unforgivens.
I've never heard of them. Sounds like some cheesy motorcycle club from some stupid movie show.
It's a branch specifically for Florida, from the Aryan Brotherhood.
So
it's a prison branch for Florida.
Speaking about the Aryan Brotherhood, so when you're in prison, what do the Aryan Brotherhood
There's no
guys?
Aryan Brotherhood in Florida. Everybody that's a part of any type of white supremacy gang or any type of white supremacy thing, they're either going to be unforgiven on the compound or they're not going to be anything. That's the only white gang on the compound.
So if you're an Aryan brother or like a Nazi lowrider, if you get locked up in Florida, you're unforgiven and that's it.
I mean, you're gonna roll with the unforgivens. You might. I mean, if you have some type of rank as like, I don't know too much about their organization because again, I didn't run with a white organization, but I imagine if you had some type of rank on the street as like a Nazi lowrider or whatever, you would remain your rank and stuff in prison, but you would be with the Unforgivens. There is no Nazi lowriders. You would be with the Unforgivens. So when the Unforgivens go to war, you're going to be with them going to war.
Okay. So have you ever witnessed a booty bandit doing booty bandit activities?
Yeah, I've seen a booty bandit get run out the dorm one time, but he wasn't like a big, like you would think. Like when people think the word booty bandit, they think like 6'4", fucking 400 pounds, ready to take your ass. But that's not the case. Like I said, you got finesses too. You got motherfuckers that'll try to finesse a bitch out their ass if they feel like they have a weak victim. And dude was in his cell on the top tier, masturbating to a white boy who was a GD. The white boy who was the GD was sitting in the day room watching TV. Somebody tapped him on his shoulder and told him that dude up there is doing what he's doing and looking down at him. Man, that shit was no good for that dude, because at the time there was 6 GDs in the dorm, and that white boy had a life sentence, and they loved that white boy. He had just came to prison. He only been in prison like 3 years, but the GDs loved him. That was their brother and shit. He done been through it with them boys. So they ran him up out the dorm. They basically beat the fuck out of him in the day room. As soon as it made him come down the stairs, beat the fuck out of him in the day room until he tapped on the glass, and that's just called checking in. When you beat on the glass, you out of there.
So in case nobody knows on my end what a GD is a gangster disciple, which is basically, it's a street gang based out of Chicago, but they've spread throughout the Midwest. You don't see too many GDs. Actually, I've never seen a GD in my life on the West Coast. I'm sure they're out there, but it's primarily, it's pretty much Texas to like the East Coast. Like you don't see too many GDs in Vegas or Arizona.
You got a lot of Florida gangs too. Like I said, Cutthroats, they all out of Jacksonville. Then you got like the Z's, they all out of South Florida, the Zo Mafias. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of.
Do different black gangs, do they get along in prison, or is it like if I see a Cutthroat committee guy, I'm a Zo, it's automatic, we got to fight?
I mean, unless you're at war, then yeah, y'all straight. Like y'all ain't got no beef. Like if they got cigarettes and you need cigarettes, you gonna go over there, you gonna do business with them. But as far as like chilling, eating goulashes and eating canteen and hanging out and watching TV with another gang, that's a no-go. At any adult prison or youthful offender prison, that's a no-go. You will not see, I mean, at a poker table or something like that, if people are gambling, then yeah, you'll see it. But on some friendly shit, like you're hanging out in my cell, we smoking marijuana together and eating honey buns and chilling, and we lining people up together and all that. Nah, hell no. You ain't gonna see that. They stick to their game.
Okay, so let's talk about what people kind of what made people like look at you, other than you being a prison YouTuber or whatever you want to call it, was that you are a white guy, but you're from a black gang, and that gang, as I know, better than I mean, they're a California-based gang, they're a Los Angeles gang. So you're a white guy, you're from a black gang. How does a white guy, for anybody that doesn't know how it works, how does a white guy in Florida choose a black gang, and why this particular gang over another gang?
I don't know about the choosing the gang part, because I was banging before. I'm more of preaching change now and trying to steer people off that path of gang life.
Yeah. Pino doesn't. Pino's not a gangbanger. Yeah.
I'm just making it clear that's the path I'm on.
Yeah.
However,
that's your former life where you were in a gang. Because just to let everybody know on my channel, Pino is not like, oh, this is this gang. He doesn't do that. He doesn't glorify.
No, I don't glorify
like street gangs, or he doesn't even really. I mean, you'll talk about like what's going on the YouTube community and stuff like that, but you don't talk about, oh yeah, this gang, that gang. No. You don't do that.
I got tons of gang stories. I don't talk about it because I don't. It's to me, I don't want to promote it.
Right. I respect that.
It's a revolving door. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There really. I mean, there really isn't any point, in my opinion. And my brothers and my sisters, they all were in gangs, and I'm not going to say what gangs they were. I don't care to get into that. But they grew up in the '80s in Los Angeles, and it was like, yeah, you joined a gang. That was what you did. And the only reason why I didn't join a gang, because come on, with these eyes, come on, I can't join a gang. Just joking, guys. I'm just kidding. No, but I'm too antisocial. I don't like crowds. Like if there was a gang where it was like, yeah, we can meet up, but just like, I don't want to hang out with you. I want to hang out by myself. Like I would have joined that gang. But every gang is like, yeah.
To answer your question, a lot of times people join gangs when they come to prison more along the lines of a sense of security, honestly, or home team. It could be numerous reasons. I've seen a lot of people like the Zoes, ZMF. A lot of people that join ZMF, they're not into gangs, and even ZMF, they don't preach gangs. They're more of a family. That's what they say they are. I mean, Google definition of a gang is 3 or more people repping the same thing. That's a fucking gang. That's Google's definition of a gang. That's the definition of gang. However, they don't look at themselves as a gang. They look at themselves as a family, and it's all home team. So I've seen a lot of people who are on the street that I probably know from the street, or that I was in a juvenile detention center with. They come to prison and they become a ZO, or part of the ZMF. Why? Because their mom's probably Haitian. They're American as fuck, but their mom's probably Haitian. They go to prison. Everybody that's a ZO is from where they're from, Broward, Dade, Palm Beach, and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna ride with my home team on that type of shit. Or it'll be that situation where one person just won't lay down. He keep fighting every person. He don't give a fuck. He's about his issue, and then a gang steps to him and is like, yo, we fuck with you. I like the way you move, bro. Run with us, bro. And they'll put him on. They'll bang him in right there. They'll 3 Lokes or 3 Olas, whatever the fuck gang he joined in, they'll beat him in.
How did you join your gang?
On the street. It wasn't prison. And it was just everybody. It was everybody in my neighborhood. We was up under one person. Everybody in my neighborhood who brought it from another state, and everybody in my neighborhood was under the same thing.
So did you have a choice, or did you have to?
I had a choice, but it was more along the lines like everybody I knew growing up was on the same thing. So like when I'm watching these boys, they got the new Jordans on, they got goals in their mouth, they pulling up in nice cars with 20-inch rims with 210s in the back, and they only 15, 16 years old. And I grew up with them. I've known them since I was 11, 12. Of course, I want to be a part of the same shit. You know what I mean? I want to get money like you. I want to hang out with y'all boys. I want to do what y'all do. We grew up together. This is what it is. It's just that's the case a lot of places, but that was the case in my story. So it's different, like different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean?
So, okay. And so you joined a pretty much just a predominantly black gang, but they got some other people in it, but it's predominantly black.
My neighborhood was predominantly black though. So it's not like I was going to just up and fucking start hanging out with a bunch of white people. White people were fucking a rarity in my neighborhood.
Okay, so that's because where you were hanging out at that where you grew up at, it was mostly black.
98%.
Okay.
99%. Fuck that. 99%.
You were the 1%.
One other white person that I know, so 99%.
So being an adult now, looking back, and then like just looking at gang stuff in general,
it's silly.
Yeah, no, I agree. What would you do? Like, okay, you can name that gang if you want. I don't really care if you do, whatever. It's up to you. But if you've seen a rival gang member that would be like a very heated rival, and you knew who he was, but he didn't know who you were. Like, let's say he's wearing a hat that has the gang insignia of your gang's most, infamous rival. What would you do?
I walk right by him.
Okay, so you don't really.
I told you I don't preach that type.
Well,
of
no,
shit.
I mean, we got a few hundred people that don't.
When I was in that, see, you gotta understand. You have levels to gangbang. You have your typical 14, 15-year-old out there on the corner gangbanging. You have grown-ups that gangbang. Then you have grown-ups who grew out that shit. You see what I'm saying? And when a motherfucker grow out that shit, you can't tell a motherfucker nothing. What you gonna do? What the fuck is you gonna do? There is a million motherfuckers in the world who have grown out of gangbanging. What y'all gonna do? Oh, only way out is in the box. We gonna come get you. What, you gonna come shoot up the man's house because he don't want to hang out with you no more? You see what I'm saying? And people don't like the realness. They don't like when you speak shit like this. They're like, oh, fuck that. You can't talk. Ah. They don't like that shit. But it is what it is. If a mother, everybody got their own individual life. What the fuck is you to tell another motherfucker what they do with their life? You see what I'm saying? Motherfucker want to move on to bigger and better things. What you gonna do? Drag them down? If you do, you just a hater.
No, I agree. Do you want to talk about like a little bit of drama? You want to talk about like
we
YouTube
can talk
stuff?
about whatever, Lamar. I'm an open book. I told you when I said when you want to interview me, I'm an open book. We could do it live. We ain't got to talk about nothing beforehand.
Okay.
First.
So YouTube channels are a lot of times they get really popular because of course drama sells. If you can involve yourself in drama, you're going to grow a pretty substantial subscriber base. And you have about 20,000 or so subscribers, but you're actually, in my opinion, you're way more known than 20,000 subscribers because your name has been floated everywhere. And you've had some beef with other YouTubers. We're not going to get into one specifically right now. It's a good chance they might be watching. If they're not watching now, I think at least two of them are watching. There's two of them are watching.
If they watching, they could suck my from the back. Fuck you. How about that? If they watching, let my nuts hang on their white face.
Yes. What he said. So, a beef that you had on YouTube is a guy. He has a pretty big channel. His name is Milk 74. And
man,
so
I've been beefing with dude. I've been beefing with. Let me explain something before we start talking about Milk. All this is YouTube beef. This is not real life beef. This is not like I'm walking around the corner scared Milk and his goons are gonna pop out and jump me. That's not happening. That's not what type of beef we are. This is just a social media beef. But Milk 74, first off, he started making videos about the prison sector when he had, I think it was like 1.2 thousand subscribers. He literally had only 1,200 subscribers. And he started making videos about the prison sector. And that's what got me on his radar and him on my radar, I guess, because he started making videos about K-Frog first, then 1090. And then, of course, along came the spot. He started making videos about me. And this has been an ongoing thing since I started YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sure some of you guys here know who Milk 74 is. I
was beefing with Milk when he was still doing his lives behind the dumpster on YouTube. Swear to God.
Yeah,
all the viewers
I give Milk credit in the fact that he's kind of he's built himself up. Yeah, I give him credit for that. I don't watch his channel because I really don't
He's
care.
a fucking, honestly, I don't give him no credit. He's a fucking loser. All he does is he got big off of picking off of C-Mac's trail and fucking making video after video after C-Mac. He's a fucking loser. I ain't got no respect for that type of shit. Honestly, if you were to say like 1090 Jake, if you were to say 1090 Jake worked for where he's at, I would 100% agree. Because 1090 Jake has worked for where he's at. He's made tons of videos, did his homework, actual entertaining videos that people would watch. Milk just goes on fucking rants about people. Milk is a fucking loser.
Didn't Milk get, isn't he responsible for getting C-Mac jumped by his own friends or his own boys?
I think he played a big. I wouldn't say he's directly responsible because at the end of the day, I don't know what was discussed between C-Mac and his fellow compadres. But I would definitely say from a social media perspective, he had a big part in getting C-Mac DP'd. 100%.
Yeah, I like C-Mac, and it was C-Mac. In case because my channel, some people know who we're talking about, some people don't, because I kind of have several different channels, so people kind of have like merged into this channel. But C-Mac, obviously, he has some form of mental illness, but I honestly believe deep down inside, he is a good dude, and I do like C-Mac. I really do. I was talking to you on the phone about, I was thinking about even like hitting him up for a collab on my At Large channel. I mean, I want to do it because he's such a crazy character. But that's who, and when I say character, that's not a character. That's who he is. As far as I know, he's crazy, but
Yeah.
he's crazy in like he's like a Yogi Bear gangbanger. It's just like you. I don't care if you're from a rival uh, set from a gang from him. You gotta like him because he's a likable guy, but he talks a lot of crap, and I mean, he's in prison right now. I hope he gets out. I hope, man.
I think he's supposed to get out next year.
Yeah, I really want that guy to succeed. There's not, dude. All YouTubers on the platform, I want like 97% of them to succeed. The 3% I could care less about. I don't really care about them. I'm not going to mention their names. They're just a bunch of jokesters. But no, I do want C-Mac to, to do good, man. I want him to make a lot of money. I want, him to, maybe he can get on No Jumper as he should be on No Jumper. I don't really know those other guys that Adam has. A couple of them, like, I mean, I don't know who's who or what's what, but anyways, okay. So this Milk guy, when you went to Los Angeles, when you were on the No Jumpers podcast, uh, there was supposedly a place where you and Milk were going to meet up to have a boxing match.
Correct.
And I guess it fell through. What happened?
Correct. So all the way up until after the No Jumper interview, the plan was, and it was agreed to by Milk, and I even showed the screenshots on YouTube. So the people that been watching, that they know, I showed the screenshots on YouTube, showed it on Instagram. And I really don't do that screenshot shit because I feel like that's whole shit. But the man agreed to meet me at the gym in Azula, which is in LA, like on the outskirts of LA. The reason we chose Azula, one, is because Molester Mouse knew somebody at fucking I can't even call him Mighty no more. He's a molester.
Yeah, we'll talk about him a little bit in a minute. Yeah.
So Molester Mouse had the gym set up with his contacts in Azula, which was a neutral territory. It wasn't like it was a Brown Pride territory. So there was no, if we're gonna be frank about it, there was no black gangs in that area.
No.
So that was the reason we chose that gym. We wanted a neutral ground where there could be no conflict and where we could just bang it out and get that shit done and get the views. And you feel me? I was down with the plan. I'm the one who picked the gym. I'm the one who told him. He's the one who agreed to the shit. Then after the No Jumper show, I ain't showing up to the gym, clown. You meet me here. So I'm like, all right, bet. Meet me in the backyard. I'm on Hoover right now. Meet me in the backyard. I'll come to Hoover right now. Meet me in the backyard. This, that, and the third. He didn't want to meet on Hoover. I got the screenshots of that. I posted that. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Fuck it. Let's go to Watts. We left there. We went to Watts. That's when Mighty Mouse did a little vlog in Watts. PJ Watts. Then we left PJ Watts, and it was like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Milk goes live with like 5 people in front of his apartment in downtown LA. He goes live with like 5 people. He's like, where he's at? Tell him to pull up. Tell him to pull up. Like, come on, dude. First off, I flew out here, so I ain't got nothing on me, bro. You know what I mean? I got a fucking box cutter. I don't even have that. I'm just making that up, but that's what I could probably bring with me on a plane. You see what I'm saying? So why in the fuck am I gonna jump out in front of your house after we already agreed to all this shit at 11 o'clock at night while you standing outside with 4 to 5 people?
Yeah, I see that video that he did. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to show up. I mean, it would have been cool for him to show up because he would have, even if he got beat up bad, who cares? You showed up, you lost. Sometimes you win fights, sometimes you lose.
I even went live when I was in LA in front of Medman. He went back and posted my location on his page. He posted like the location of Medman. He posted the Google Maps location photo, and he said, I know where you at. So I reposted and said, if you know where I'm at, why you ain't slide on me?
Yeah, well, because
he deleted it. He immediately deleted the post. When I tagged him in it, he deleted his post. This is the type of games I've been playing with Buddy, bro. I've been playing these games with Buddy for like 4 years now, 3 years now.
He's not gonna meet up with anybody. Yeah, he's just, he's a troll, and I'm not even gonna say he's smart about his troll. He's not. I mean, he's not a smart guy as far as I'm concerned. He's just a troll. But getting away from him because he's kind of boring. I got to talk to you about the Mighty Mouse guy. So in case nobody knows, like on my side, if you don't know who Mighty Mouse is, this is a quick history of him. Mighty Mouse he was a part of this other YouTube channel that has like almost 3 million subscribers called Street Beefs. And I followed Mighty Mouse for a few years. I liked Mighty Mouse. He was preaching positivity. I really liked him. I was like, this is a good dude, right? And then some dirty stuff came out about him, that he had a sex offense, that he slept with a teenage girl, and it was like a statutory rape thing. He did quite a bit of time in prison, and then he got out. He was with Street Beefs, and then that guy kind of found it out. So you linked up with Mighty Mouse when you were in Los Angeles, because Mighty Mouse is kind of known in the underground boxing circuit. So it would be
the first time I linked up with him was in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, so Fort Lauderdale. So when you first linked up with him, you didn't know anything about this guy? You didn't know his bad charges or anything?
I just knew he was a part of Street Beefs.
Okay.
And when I did the live with him in Fort Lauderdale, of course I got DMs saying like, hey, this dude's a sex offender, this, that, and the third. So when I asked him about it over the phone, he broke the situation down as he was like 19 or something. The girl was 17, and he was fucking the girl and her mom. And the mom was like 29 or something like that. And he ended up getting some statutory rape or some shit like that. So it's a believable story because it happens. It happens out here a lot.
Yeah.
A 19-year-old will get caught up with a 16-year-old or something like that. And I'm not saying it's right, because it's totally wrong. By legal standards, it's 100% wrong. And by, sane standards, you should be way above that. It's totally wrong. But I was like, okay, that's not that bad. You know what I mean? Then we linked up
19 and 17. Nah, that's not statutory rape.
That's not that bad. He was 19, probably made a mistake. 17-year-old and a mom. He said he was tricking them both out and all type of other shit. Whatever. You were an ex-pimp. Whatever. I took it as that, right? When we linked up in LA again and did another live and was like, yeah, Milk, get ready to show up at the gym, this, that, and the third, I started getting more DMs. Hey, man, check this dude's charges out with links and shit like that. I brushed it off, of course, because I was only in LA for 3 days and I was mad busy. You see what I'm saying? I had the no jumper interview. I had the gym set up in Azula. I had to go to the dispensary to re-up on weed because I didn't bring none with me, because I didn't know how it was through the airport to bring my shit with me. And it was just an all-around busy schedule. I had just went to jail the night before and bonded out of jail before I got on the plane to go to LA. So I didn't do my homework until I got home. When I got home from LA, which was two days later, I did my homework and I seen that this motherfucker was 29 and he had forced himself on I don't know how to say this. I'm going to say it as appropriate as YouTube can allow me. Forced himself on a 15, I think it said, or 14-year-old who was on her menstrual cycle. So I'm going to use proper terms so we don't get any type of flags here.
Right.
She was on her menstrual cycle. If anybody knows what that means, it's, that time that they drip. And he did that to a 14 or 15-year-old girl when he was 29. It disgusts me. It fucking totally, it disgusted me so much that I didn't even want to call him and be like, yo, don't fuck with me no more, none of that. Because I felt like if I called him, I could not be civil about the situation. Because I have a 10-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. So I don't think at that time I could have been civil about the situation at all. So I was like, fuck it. I blocked his number. I figured he'd get the picture. A month later, this motherfucker goes live and he's like, yeah, somebody asked him, you still fuck with Pino? Because they, you know, they haven't seen any type of communication between us. He was like, yeah, I still fuck with Pino. I just talked to him on the phone the other day. I immediately went live after he said that, played that clip and said, motherfucker, I do not fuck with you. When I came back from LA, I blocked your number when I found out what happened. And I basically broke down to everybody, just like I broke down to you, how I figured out I didn't do my homework till I came back from LA.
Right. Yeah. You know, I know you got a lot of heat for you meeting up with him, but you didn't know. And I got some heat too, because I made a video. I wasn't defending him, but I did a stupid video saying that, like, you know, you guys are talking a bunch of crap about this guy, but none of you guys are gonna show up. I mean, you can talk all day long about his bad charges, but nobody's going to go to any of his events and look up to him or whatever you want to call it, because people have better things to do.
I'll beat the fuck out of that chomo. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if he fights better than me or if he boxes. We got an MMA though. I can't do none of that boxing shit. You know, I ain't no boxer. I can't box.
I don't know, man.
Let me explain something about boxing. Boxing is a whole nother level of fighting. Period. Boxing takes discipline. It takes wind. It takes you going in and out of that ring, learning how to slip punches, learning how to time your clock, time everything. How to swing from your body. MMA, I could, you know, you could grind a pound, you could flip somebody. I got a little bit of that in me.
I don't know, man. He's a big dude. I mean, you seen him in person.
Let me correct myself. I will fight him on one circumstance: for the bag. Period. It gotta be. It gotta be 5K. He over there on his YouTube, his chomo ass over there on his YouTube flexing 30K, saying, "Oh, this is to invest in my house." Well, invest in your career because it's dead by this point. You're only getting like 1,000 views per video.
Yeah, nobody.
So invest in your career. Pay me 5K, and I guarantee show up to whatever motherfucking ring you want me to. Goddamn it.
$5,000.
5K. 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 or better.
But okay. To end this part of the conversation, because I don't even like talking about this guy.
Like 50K.
But this guy, you know, this guy, the problem with him is his charges are so bad, because there was another like troll guy, I forgot his name, some guy that lives in Arizona. He was like trying to like get up people to like go to his like events and be like, let's get this guy out of here. It's like, you know, at the end of the day,
I remember him. Gimmicks, life.
I don't know his name. Something like that. He got
ran off of YouTube because he never showed up.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should show up. I don't think anybody should pay him any mind. I mean, it's like, all right, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about him anymore, because it's just like, all right, dude, you got bad charges. At the end, you just kind of, you know, just wash your hands and just, all right, move on. I mean, you know what I mean?
He doesn't have the type of charge, to the people that don't know. He doesn't have the type of charge where, you know, you can even think about accepting it. The charge and the discovery and the witness statements are so unbearable to read and disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross.
It leaves you with no choice but to say, no way, bro. No fucking way do I want you anywhere near me, my family, anyone I know. Like, period.
I don't think anybody should meet him to do anything. I think everybody should just. I think everybody should just say, all right, you're no good. The end, and that's it. And then, you know, I only brought him up just because it's kind of like a part of the whole, the whole thing. But you know, it's like, oh yeah, F this chomo, but it's like, all right, well, you're no good, and then you kind of just, you know, and you know, his YouTube channel's dead. You know, people that follow him, you're following a pedophile, and he's got bad charges. He lied about, like, he was trying, like, he did a video a while back, like a long time ago, like, oh, I was a pimp, and I was pimping the mom, and then I was pimping the girl, and then like when he said he was pimping the girl, I'm like, that's janky, but he didn't say he was, whatever. He was saying he was a pimp. Anyways, let's get away from this. Yeah. So this guy's done. I can't stomach to even talk about him. The guy he's no good. I've heard other things, bro. There's other things I've heard about him. Listen. I ain't gonna say any more, but there's other stuff about him I've heard that is bad, and I'll just leave it at that. I would mention the other guy, but I don't really care. Let's just get on to your big your big beef, and people are gonna probably want to hear about it. 1090 Jake.
Oh,
and listen,
let's play. Can you play a clip from him?
A clip saying what? What's the clip?
All right, so
because I'm technologically inept, so I would have to play it on my phone.
So type it in on YouTube. 1090 Jake says.
All right, give me a minute here. Give me a minute, because I don't have green screen. I hope to one day, and you need to do this too, bro. We need to get because you just like me. You remind me of me when it comes to computers. I'm not interested. I don't know nothing about them. Bro, it took us 20 minutes just to get this going, because we don't know what's I don't like computers. Everything I do on my phone is the same.
Right.
But that's something that you need to, and me too. Look on for the future, bro. Is that the green screen stuff? Because people like that stuff. People like to, they like people when they're interactive and they're putting stuff up instead of But Hassan Campbell seems to get away with it. We'll talk a little bit about him too.
All right.
But all right. So I'm typing in.
Type in 1090 Jake.
Yeah.
Says Pino is informant in YNW Melly case.
All right, how long do I gotta play this? Because people can get bored.
It's a real short clip. It's on YouTube. Somebody uploaded it.
Is this during the
Fresh and Fit podcast?
The who?
The Fresh and Fit podcast that he just went on.
Oh no, Fresh and Fit. No, I don't really see Adam 22. Well, I mean, screw that. I mean, what did he say? Because there was the video about.
He said his name. They asked him why his name was brought up in the YNW Melly murder case, right?
Which is pretty heavy. Yeah, that's. I was surprised. Yeah,
which is pretty heavy. The YNW Melly murder case deposition / discovery says that they obtained a video that was provided from 1090 Jake, correct? That's word for word what it says.
Yeah, I looked it up before, yeah.
1090 Jake spun it and said, oh, of course they're going to say I provided it, I uploaded it to my channel. Well, no shit, dumbass. You're the one who decided to interview somebody who was a witness on an open murder case. Of course, you provided it. You're the one who uploaded it. Even if that was the case, if you didn't directly hand it to the prosecutor as that type of provided, right? They asked him about it. He said that the only reason he was named in it because they have an informant out of Broward County, Florida. Now, let me explain something. YNW Melly is from Broward County, Florida. He is incarcerated in Broward County, Florida. First off, let me correct this for the viewers. I don't know YNW Melly, nor do I know 1090 Jake. I met him one time in my life. The one time that I did meet him, I beat the fuck out of him, period. So I have absolutely nothing to gain by giving any type of information to law enforcement on you for a murder case that has nothing to do with me. Does that even make sense? He's trying to spin it. So what he said is The information came out of Broward County. This is word for word what he said on the Fresh and Fit. He only knows one person from Broward County who he exposed as a rat who he's beefing with. That has to be the person.
Yeah, and in case, I mean, this sounds
I want
stupid
to
for me.
address it. I have to address that because that shit is fucking laughable. That shit, first off, I ain't never met Melly a fucking day in my life. And like I said, the first time I fucking met you was when I beat you up. So what type of fucking possible information could I give?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat knows who 1090 Jake is. I mean, he's a pretty dang big YouTuber.
Buster. Go ahead and explain who he is. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. Explain who he is.
Go ahead. Yeah. So I mean, I feel silly even saying who 1090. Some of you guys don't know who he is. 1090 Jake is a very big YouTuber. I mean, what is like? I mean, how many? Either 1090 Jake is in here now because he's that type of person. Like he would probably just because he's like into drama, so he's probably like listening right now. And if he's not, he's gonna watch the replay, guaranteed 100%. Because that's the kind of dude he cares about what people say about him. Dude, yeah, he has 855,000 subscribers. This guy's a huge YouTuber. This guy's gonna, you know, I suspect that this guy's eventually gonna hit 2 million. This guy's people love his channel, people love his content, and you know, listen, he played. I give 1090 Jake, I give him kudos. I don't give him props, but I give him kudos for him doing everything correct in terms of his channel. So Pino and 1090 Jake, they kind of had a beef about stuff in the past. And I don't want to get into the beef because like you know, I mean it's been said over and over and over again about how you guys like had a beef and this and that. But I do want to say this for anybody in here who's going to say that Pino's a hater. Hey, private conversations. What's that?
More power to him.
Pino has never ever hated on 1090 at all. Like we talked like off on the phone. Let me tell you something. I don't want to say you impressed me, but I thought that was cool. You didn't hate on 1090 Jake. You never said, other than like, you know, F him, you know, I beat him up. You never ever hated on his YouTube channel. You've never said one negative thing about it at all. I have because I don't like his channel. But you never said that you don't like his channel. You just said you're not into glorifying the gang aspect of things.
There's only he speaks on open cases too. I'm not into that. I'm kind of against that because that's the whole reason that he got tied into the whole Melly murder case.
Yeah,
he decided to do an interview with the witness in the case, the dude who's Melly's manager, 100K Track. He decided to do an interview with him while this dude is listed as a witness in the case. So yeah, I'm against that type of shit.
Yeah, personally, I would not have done it, but dude, you got to understand this guy's a reporter, and that's just that's what he does. And I, you know, I can't hate on this guy at all. I mean,
it's a line though. Are you a reporter or are you a gang member?
You're 100% correct. 100% correct.
You don't see Vlad. You don't see DJ Vlad taking motherfucking pictures with 40 Blood saying, "Oh, Big Sue." No. You don't see Trap Geek, another famous YouTuber who reports on active crime and stuff like that, taking pictures with all these people and saying gang this, gang that.
He skirts the line, and he may not realize that because when you're that big of a YouTuber and you have like 800, and it's not like he has 850,000 subscribers and his videos get like 50,000. His videos get like 50. It's like he gets 50% of the views. He's a big YouTuber.
Though. They're interesting.
He reports
on active crime. let's be honest. What sells right now is drama and crime. People getting shot, people
Yeah.
getting hurt. That's what sells, bro.
The only reason I don't watch this channel, I can't do the accent. Can't do it. Anybody I've spoken about it before. Like your accent. Like if you were talking about a crime, I could do like a southern accent. I could do like Midwest pretty much doesn't really have an accent. I knew a New York accent. I can yeah, okay, bro. Boston accent. I Boston accent, English accent. I'm not gonna. I can't. I'm not listening to you. I
But he don't.
can't.
The thing is like everybody's like, oh, Pino, why you talk like that sometimes? And Pino, why you talk like you're black? And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, bro? I just talk like I'm from the South. That's it. It's just my accent. It's not something that I can just overnight
No,
be
you
like,
just, you
hey,
just got a country accent. I don't think you talk black. You just kind of you have a.
So many people have told me that I just have a country accent, but when it comes to YouTube, I get this shit like, oh, why you try to act like this? And why you try to, I'm like, y'all must have never met nobody from the South at all. Because that's just like literally we have a draw to our
yeah, Florida, Georgia, Alabama. I think the draw, the accent to me, it goes through Louisiana. It really stops like in Houston, Texas. You won't hear that draw anymore, and then it kind of fades away into like San Antonio, and you ain't gonna hear that. But 1090 Jake, he has a because I've tried to like, and I'm not hating on him. If he's watching, by the way, if he ain't watching right now, I'm surprised. But he'll watch
he'll watch.
Oh, he watches every. Hey, if you got a YouTube channel with 100 subscribers, he already been watched you talk about him. That's the kind of guy he is. Like,
he's self-conscious. He's the type of person that wakes up in the morning and types his name on the internet.
Exactly, and he's a drama channel, and that's not a bad thing. He's a drama channel, but he's great at it. He's great at the drama. And like it just the stars aligned with him, and there is no hate, man. Let me tell you something. I am glad that this guy, he was in prison, and whatever it is that he did, I still don't know why he went to prison. I still don't know nothing about him. You told me a little bit about him, but I really still don't. I can't even tell you what you told me. I got a bad memory. But whatever the case might be, I'm glad that not only he left prison, I'm glad he made something of himself. I don't want people that went to prison. I don't want them to go back. I think prison is a revolving. I think it's like modern day slavery, and I don't care what race you are. It is applied to every race. I think the prison system is horrible. I understand that certain people need to be treated a certain way, but I understand that certain people have made mistakes in their life, and it's like, do I always get punished for something I did when I was 19, 20? Maybe I didn't have the best family upbringing. My upbringing sucked. I wasn't like it wasn't bad, it just wasn't good. So I'm glad that he made something of himself and escaped that whole thing to do this and do that. But on the other side of things, this guy, man, hey, you guys could just say whatever you want about me if I'm going to say anything bad about him. Dude, I just, listen, I don't know him. I don't know what he's done. I don't know. I don't know what to make of him. I really don't. It's like this guy, his demeanor is too cool. It's like, yeah, guys, hey, so check this out. I'm over here, and now I'm a blood, and I'm over here. But I was over there, and now I'm over here. Like it's too smooth. Like it's like, yo, wait a minute. Like you're a white blood, and I know people say like I've never heard of a white blood. Well, I haven't, but that's the.
In when I was in youth for offender prison, it was I've seen a white blood, but 7 years in the adult system between county jails and prison, I ain't never seen a white blood. Ever.
I mean, but he could have been like how like maybe nobody has never seen a white Crip, but they're out there.
There's
But
tons of Crips.
yeah, they're out there. I don't go looking for them, but there's
White was
I mean,
okay. White was okay by Tookie before he got executed in 2005. In 1997, Tookie okayed White. He said it does not matter what race you are. If you're a white, Latinos, other, it does not matter as long as you're banging for the community. As long as you're for the cause, the community.
Yeah, in LA, you'll see Mexican. There ain't a lot, but you will see white Crips and Mexican Crips and Samoan Crips. Well, really, a lot of Samoan Crips. Bloods in Arizona. There's Mexican Bloods in Arizona, especially in Tucson. Shout out to D-Boy if you're watching. I gotta. Hey, next time we talk on the phone, I gotta tell you this story. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But there's Mexican Bloods, and no, they're a legit gang. I ain't laughing about them. I'm laughing because the story in general is just funny how I found out about these guys. White Bloods, I don't know. I don't go reach. I mean, crime is like my thing that I look up online, and when it comes to gangs, because I'm from Los Angeles, gangs were like considered cool and they were glamorized. I personally, I think gangs are. I mean, I'm not into gangs. As a kid, I've ran from them. I was scared. I was afraid of them because they were numbers. You know what I mean? I wasn't in the gang, and neither were my boys. We were gang members. So this guy, he angled his channel like fantastically. It's like, I'm white and I'm a blood and my chain and and then when we were talking about this Remy Roja broad. Do you think she's attractive? Like, what? I mean, I know you got a wife, but I mean, you don't gotta.
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean,
I think if she takes off her goddamn pants, she's gonna have crater legs.
Well, her photoshopped Instagram picture looked good.
A bitch can do anything with filters nowadays. Your live.
No, filters are fantastic. They're fantastic. Hey, I wanna meet this broad, Remy Roja. I might be going to New York in about 2 weeks. I don't really want to go out there, but I kind of want to meet her. I don't know, like she's just I don't know nothing about
her. You're a major YouTuber. All you gotta do is reach out to her.
Yeah, so I don't know, but
let me explain something. If y'all ain't already subscribed to Lamont has YouTube pages, Lamont on the Large, Lamont on the Run. Subscribe. They're fire. They're dope. He has graveyard videos. He has all type of stuff that is dope, fire. 500,000 subs on one of his channels. Not
500,000, but eventually maybe. But yeah, and the same on my end. Check out Pino. Kale put up Pino. She's probably been putting up his link already. Check out Pino's channel. He does like a variety of stuff. He doesn't glorify gang stuff. If you're looking for like a gang channel, you're not gonna find what you're looking for on his channel. But he might have like
if you're looking for reactions or like a fishing vlog or something like that.
Yeah, but he once in a while he'll talk about a story from prison. But he's not one of these guys that was in prison. He got out and he made a YouTube channel. And he's trying to make a bunch of money off of it. He kind of talks. Now I've tried to tell him people want to the negative side of things. Yeah, people want to hear that. And but he's doing his thing. He's a family man. He has a full-time job. YouTube isn't and I'm surprised because Pino, if he wanted to, he could be a full-time YouTuber and quit his job. I think he could. Yeah,
absolutely.
You could if you wanted to, but you're not. I mean, and we've talked quite a few times on the phone. You're not terribly interested in it. I think you should. I think you should quit.
Looking at the phone too long gives me a headache.
Yeah, I could tell you don't like social media, really. Yeah, but
like that.
No, but
I only keep up with it just because of my YouTube. Like I post to Instagram most of the time just because, I understand that I have a lot of supporters and a lot of followers who want to, still see from me and hear from me in everyday life. So that's one of the reasons I have an Instagram. and where they could see like everyday life, me and the kids, or me going out with the wife, or some of the fire bud I smoke or whatever,
It, so in Florida, so getting away, so I'm already tired of talking about the YouTube drama stuff. I know some people here just are like, I just, it's interesting for 30 minutes and then I get bored. So in Florida, in case nobody like lives there or has never been there, is weed like what's the thing with weed now? Is there weed shops all over the place?
Yeah, but it's only legal for medical purposes.
But anybody can just go get
you can just say your back hurts and go to the doctor and get a weed card.
So you have a weed card?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to a shop, and so do people still sell weed there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, so how does that work? Like, why would I want to buy weed from this guy when I could just go to a business?
Because it's more expensive at the dispensary.
All right, so if I have $50, if I go to this and I don't smoke weed, I drink, and maybe I shouldn't even be doing that. Whatever. I haven't smoked weed since, and I remember this, like April 20 something, 1999, and even before then, I only smoked weed. I can count on both my fingers how many times I've ever smoked weed.
Different now. That weed back then was BAP. That shit that y'all was smoking in the 90s was fucking garbage.
Well, I don't want no part of it, because to me, I think weed personally, and I know people on your channel, they're gonna say, "Shut your drunk ass." Blah, 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 blah. I think weed is almost, it reminds me of like a low grade heroin, because it just depending on who you are, like I don't think that people that smoke weed are like heroin junkies, but so it depends on how you approach it. Like, you work. Like, a lot of people that smoke weed, I mean, maybe they do work, maybe they don't work. The biggest pothead in my life that I've ever known is my homeboy Mike, and that dude has worked since he was 16.
Then he's like me. He's like me. I'm the type of, you have two type of stoners. You have a stoner that don't want to do nothing, and then you got a stoner like me. I gotta smoke before I even go to work. I gotta smoke that blunt before I go to work. That blunt go get me ready for the day.
Okay, so all right, so I'm glad that you brought that up. So you work what, like a 9-to-5 type job?
Nah, I run a business.
Okay, yeah, right, okay. So your business is,
the hours vary pretty much between like 9 and 5. I mean, it depends on the customer. It depends on how much they're paying. I'm willing to work, late into the night.
But you got to be up. So what time do you have to be up and ready for, like, to receive phone calls?
I'm up at 5:30 every morning.
So okay, so is your alarm set for 5:30?
Yeah, every morning it's set for 5:25, 5:30.
So okay,
one snooze, 1 5-minute snooze. Sometimes I take it, sometimes I don't.
Okay, so you hit one snooze and then 5:30. Man. What's the first thing you do?
Brush my teeth.
Okay.
Shower, get ready, go. I grab. You want me to walk you through my mornings?
I mean, I want to know when are you smoking weed? When does that happen?
Usually at home, before I even get in the car.
So you smoke a little bit.
I'm up 5:30 in the morning. By like 5:45, 5:50, I have a joint burning in the air, and I'll be out back with the dog or something like that, walking the dog, letting the dog take a shit outside.
Okay, all right, and then that makes you awake, like, oh, like you're like, yes,
superpowers. Ah! No, I'm just playing. But it kind of preps me for the day, man. It's more of a, I mean, I don't know. I've been smoking weed a long time. I've been smoking weed a long time. So I've never gotten into any other drugs. I've did ecstasy, I think probably like on 3 separate occasions when I was I want to say 21. I after I got out of prison on that 3-year bid, and I was going out and hanging out at clubs and stuff after I bucked the community control. I would say I experimented with ecstasy here and there, going to clubs and shit. But other than that, like, I ain't never did nothing. No, never did cocaine, never did heroin, never did K2. That's it. That K2 is probably the worst drug I've done.
Yeah, my boy, he used to mess with that because his job used to drug test. So yeah, dude, K2, that really is like heroin. That is
shit
heroin.
is like heroin. That shit is not nothing to play with.
No, that's some really, really terrible.
That's one of the drugs that runs the Florida system. K2 and Molly.
What's Molly? Is that like, that's ecstasy, right?
I mean, the Molly they getting in prison, 9 times out of 10, it ain't like real Molly. It's like some off-brand fucking bath salt made cut with Molly or something like that. But Molly is MDMA.
Which is, what is that?
The main chemical inside ecstasy.
Oh, okay. And that shows you how much of a square I am.
For methamphetamine dioxide, something. Somebody in the chat will type it.
Dude, I normally am like into the chat, but I haven't looked at the chat in about an hour and 40 minutes because I've been talking to you. And this is like the first, I think this is like the first ever kind of live that I've done. Well, not the first, but the first like kind of cross collab that I've done on this channel. And like, you know, I was saying, like, we were talking to your homeboy NV about how to do it and how to figure it out.
This is the second one I've ever done. So
yeah, the first one was with NV, and I watched a good part of.
You know,
yeah, shout out to NV. If you guys want to go look up his channel, I would tell Kel to put a link to it, but what is it? Just N and then V?
Yeah, just NV for Real TV.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the vlog he's putting up, but if you're into like the prison genre, like,
and
go look up
the whole Milk 74 1090 shit. Yeah, he'll be doing reactions to that, so go check it out.
Yeah, so check out NV for Real TV, and if you're into that. So when you get home from work or what have you, like, what do you do? Like, you got 2 kids, you got a daughter and a son, and you got a wife or whatever, and you're in South.
I pay lot rent to park the truck in. I park the truck in the lot, jump back in my car where I park at the lot in place of the truck, and I basically go home and just it's all depends. Like, my son could be, you know, calm watching TV when I get home, you know, or, you know, my son and daughter could be running crazy around the house, and, you know, we got to take them out somewhere, to a park, to soccer. But I'm always out. I'm always active. Me and the wife are always going like on bike rides. We both own vehicles, but we still like to go on like a bike ride to exercise and, you know, just socialize or whatever. We still, you know, take the kids out everywhere, fucking museums, and I've been all over. Every place you could think of in Florida for kids. From airplane museums to train yards to, yeah. Hit me up if y'all want some spots in Florida to take the kids.
Dude, because I was telling people before, and again, if you guys are checking out Pino's channel, don't let the 20,000 subscriber fool you. This guy's very, very well known and very recognizable. Do people recognize you like when you're walking around town?
All the time. But the thing is like I said, we're gonna jump back on Milk for a second. We're just gonna use an example of Milk and the difference between me and the difference between Milk. Milk can't actively walk around his city without some type of imminent fear that somebody's gonna jump out on him and beat him up. And it's not so much as of, because where he's from, I'm not saying LA's not a dangerous place. LA is very dangerous. However, he lives in downtown LA. He lives in a nicer part of LA. He lives in a
Yeah.
high rise on the 19th floor. He is not actively involved in the streets. But what he does do is actively instigate street drama and actively say he's a gang member and get into street beef that has made its way to YouTube. Correct. So therefore, he's a walking mark in his city, which is gangland. He is a walking mark. Once he leaves the nice part of town and he goes anywhere else, or if somebody from another place comes to the nice part of town, he's a walking target. However, with me, I'm more just known as local, like everybody knows me. Like I'm just, whether it be from YouTube or real life, they fuck with me. I've never said, hey, never nobody has run up on me and say, hey, Pino, you a fuck boy, run my fade, or this, that, and the third. And I'm not saying it like I'm the biggest, baddest person on the earth, but it's just not what I put out.
Right.
Yeah, I did beat up so-and-so, but that's about as far as it goes. And if you're in your feelings for me beating up another man that you don't know, that you're just a fan of from YouTube, and you're
Right.
just a fan, and you want to come jump on me while I'm walking with my kids, then but it'll be looked at like that on YouTube. Better believe it'll be looked at like that on YouTube. You know what I mean? Because I don't put that energy out. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's not saying that I won't. I'm also a different kind of person. Like, you're not just gonna run up on me. You gotta, like, come
Yeah, of
on, dude.
course you're gonna defend yourself.
Come on. I mean, 10 years in prison, bro, in dangerous grounds where you can't leave, where you can't run from a problem. So I've never had a problem running from a problem. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've never been that type of person where there's a problem approaching and I run from it. I was the 48 laws of power. 48 laws of power says that you should crush your enemies for a chance that a threat will arise in the future. What it's saying is that when you put out a fire, if you leave an ember, that fire can still arise. You have to completely crush. Do you see what I'm saying? So if somebody runs up on me in public, I cannot let it go. I have to handle that right then and there. Do you see what I'm saying?
But
It's
you
not
but you've
about
never.
it's
No,
not
go ahead.
about
Go ahead.
being it's not about being gangster. It's about me as a man. I'm not gonna let you just fucking run up on me. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. And when I say run up on me, I'm not talking about drive by, see me and my wife in the grocery store, and you start letting off shots in the grocery store. I'm talking about run up on me and call me a rat or punch me in my face or do all this fuck shit that goes on YouTube. I'm gonna fuck you up. You see what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah,
just what it is.
and what amazes me about Milk is that what you said is very true. Like there is, and I don't watch his channel because he's boring, but more power to him. He, from what I've, from my boy, I've talked to Jay Coffee Talk, is that it's like this dude preaches nothing positive. Everything on his channel is absolutely
And
negative.
the
Nothing.
motherfucker, C-Mac was giving back to the homeless, right? So I made the video like, oh, C-Mac giving back to his community, but Milk, you want to speak on C-Mac, but what are you giving back to the Hoovers? What are you giving back to the community? What are you doing for the community with your YouTube money? Since you want to speak on somebody giving out free pizzas and shit, which was
Yeah,
the
and
most
C-Mac was
retarded.
doing that. Yes, he
The
did like
thing,
yeah.
the fact that you made a reaction on this man giving out free pizzas was some totally hater shit. Like
Yeah,
total
it
hater
was
shit.
trash. Yeah.
Trash ass shit. But the thing is then he made a video after I brought it to light. He made a video and he said, I made Milk 7-4 blankets and I'm giving them out to the homeless shelter because I'd rather give it out. This is word for word what he said. It's still on his channel. He said, I would rather give it to the homeless shelter because at least I know these people are clean. They're not doing drugs and they're off the street. And to me, that made absolute no fucking sense, because these people in this fucking shelter have blankets, they have a warm meal. These people sleeping behind these fucking buildings with needles in their arm on the verge of death don't have blankets, don't have a warm meal, don't have an extended hand to say, hey, let me take you to a rehab. You know, hey, let me help you get cleaned up. Let me get you a hotel for the night, and I'll pick you up in the morning and take you to a sober house. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm, you know, and I never did this video because I didn't want to, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I am shocked. Like there. Okay, I don't get heavily into the prison YouTube genre. I know who's who and I know what's what, but I don't watch everybody's channel. I check you out. I'll watch C-Mac, but he's locked up right now. I really Milk. Bro. I'd be
Bro,
lying if I
he'll
told
make a
you.
whole video about me, and I can't watch no more than 5 minutes of it.
Yeah, he's just I don't know. But like I said, more power to him for his doing his thing. But I don't mess with him. Other than that, I really can't think. I don't even know what's that dude? Oh, what's that dude? Like you went on his channel, like the 23-and-1. Yeah,
Josh.
yeah,
23
yeah. I know. I just wanted to say his channel. Like I'm not. I don't really watch his channel. I'm not even gonna get into. It's just stupid. Like it's not that like I don't like him. I just it's whatever with that dude. But dude, more power to him. Yeah. Shout out to him. You know, he was a prison guy and he got out. He has a big, huge platform. Blah blah blah. I made a troll video about him a couple years ago. Whatever. Who cares? But I don't really watch a lot of prison YouTube. I mean, you know, a big shout out. I gotta say, I don't know if you watched this guy, stories written from a current prisoner. That's a good channel. That's a good channel.
I don't really, honestly, if you look through my, like, if you open up YouTube on my phone, you're not gonna see any recommended videos from any prison YouTubers or any prison. Literally, you're gonna see like recommended video. Drunk woman gets pulled over and car gets hit by oncoming traffic, or you're gonna see UFOs. What's really behind Area 51, or you're gonna see shit like that. That's the type of shit I'm into. I'm not into fucking listening to you tell a story about how you shanked somebody on a toilet, because I lived that for fucking 10 years.
Yeah, well, you know, shout out to that guy. He interviews people in prison. I mean,
no,
yeah,
I like Lockdown 23-and-1. Josh actually put me in the position where I'm at. Help was one of my stepping stones to where I'm at. He's always been positive. He's never been negative. And when drama always arose, he was always like, "Hey, I fuck with both of y'all," or
yeah,
"I just don't want to
he's
get
not.
involved."
He doesn't choose side. He's pretty even keel.
Yeah, he's a pretty solid individual character-wise to me, and I have to give him some type of homage because he was definitely one of my stepping stones to where I'm at today, and he gave me a chance and let me shine on his channel. So yeah, big shout out to him. But as far as prison YouTube, I don't watch it.
I was just going to say real quick about Milk. I am shocked, and I don't want listen. I don't want nothing bad to happen to that guy. I don't hate him. I don't care for him. I don't. It's not like I dislike him. I am shocked that nobody has beat the living crap out of him.
Fuck that.
I'm shocked.
I want him to get beat up. Fuck that. I'm gonna be real with you. I hope his worst enemy hops out on him. I don't hope he dies. I don't wish death upon nobody. But I do hope he obtains a few black eyes.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to laugh about that. For sure.
Well, listen, I do not know how because you know this guy's from a gang. He's from what Hoover said. He's from
74.
Not to get into the gang's history, because I mean I only know LA gang history from when I was a kid. But Hoover is a gang that has multiple beefs on the left side, on the right side, down here, and over there. So he's from a gang that has a lot of enemies. And I am surprised guys, I know people on my channel, they're not into like some are into gang stuff, some are not. But just imagine you're a white guy that's from a predominantly black gang, but it's not super black. They got all kinds of different people in that gang. But imagine having like enemies all around you, and
I
you're
know.
a
I've been over there. I know.
yeah,
Literally
and you're
next
a
street over.
yeah, you're a well-known YouTuber, especially in Los Angeles, and you delve in gang beef,
But the
and
thing
no,
is he's not. He just became a well-known YouTuber in the past couple years, and
well,
this
more
is
the
where it
past
makes
year,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, he just became a well-known YouTuber, and he does not live in that part of LA.
No, no, he doesn't. He lives
He does not live in that part. He does
he
not
lives
live
in
in
like
the
a
part where
glass
it's active
castle.
at.
Yeah, yeah. Just to say, this guy does not live in a bad neighborhood. He does not live in a gang neighborhood. He
He
lives in
lives
like
on
a
the
high-rise
19th
condo.
floor with a security guard at the front desk with key fobs
Exactly.
to get in and out of the building.
Yeah. If you wanted to sneak him and do something dirty, you would literally have to like kill your whole day to try to find. Yeah. I really think, just my personal opinion, I think the reason why nobody has done anything to him is, honestly, I don't think anybody takes that guy seriously.
Not really. I mean, he's remedial.
He is
He's
the
definitely
only.
remedial. He's definitely, for sure, 100%. He has some type of remedial dysfunction.
You think
For sure.
you think he's
He's,
low IQ?
I think he's a little bit retarded. I
I,
think
I,
he's one of those compulsive liars that believe their lies. Have you ever met people like that in life? Like a compulsive liar that will go down a lie path and they're so enveloped in their lie path that they actually start to believe their lies.
in jail, I met somebody like that. Yeah.
That's milk. It's a
Yeah.
disorder. It's a fucked up disorder. He's retarded. I'm an
Yeah.
advocate for mental health. I listen. First off, I understand mental health. I have mental health issues myself. 100%. I understand mental health. So I'm not making fun of him when I say that he's remedial and he has some type of mental disorder. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose him and say he's bipolar, schizophrenic, or delusional or whatever. I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you for sure from years of being around fucking psych patients that dude is a psych patient.
I'll add this again. The only reason why he is still walking around, I really believe, and I'm not I don't disagree with you. It could be. I honestly think people in Los Angeles really don't pay him any mind, and he is not a factor in anything.
He's not.
And he no,
He's
he's
not.
really not. That's the only reason why he's still around. And you know, and he'll watch this. I'm sure he'll like scour through to see like when we talk about him. You know, just my
Oh,
message
he's
to more.
another one. He's very self-conscious. He's probably in
Oh
the
yeah,
chat.
no, he'll watch this. Yeah, he might. He's probably on here right now. And just my message to you is, yeah, the only reason why you're still breathing is because no one takes you seriously. That's it. Other than that, like
I
I don't
agree.
hate him. I don't, you know, I don't wish nothing bad. I don't even care if he gets slapped up. I mean, it's just like that C-Mac thing with him doing that pissed me off a little bit. I'm like, man, yeah, like bad news on that guy. But other than that, it's like, you know what? Just nobody takes him seriously. But I tell you this, if that one guy sees him, and I know damn well that dude is not going to be going anywhere south of Olympic. It ain't happening. He is not traveling anywhere south of Olympic. It ain't like he stays downtown. Olympic is
If he is,
downtown.
he's in a tinted car.
Oh, does he even have a car? I don't even
No,
know.
his wildebeest wife has one.
Yeah, I've seen her before. She's you know, I'm not gonna drag her. I don't have. I'm sure she's a nice woman.
I am. I don't give a fuck. He tried to drag my family and bring my family into YouTube. Fuck him and that fucking school bus that he calls a woman. I'm
if
for real.
if that woman is watching, hello.
If you're watching, you're a wildebeest.
Hello, Mrs. Milk. How are you doing today? Hey, you know what? I want to know. I wonder what she does for a living. That rent ain't no joke in there. She's got to have a good job. I wonder what she does.
I mean, Milk's making money too. No, I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
broke.
he's
making
making
money off YouTube.
Of course, and they live together, right? They have like
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah,
but
so it's a
bro,
split income. So you gotta understand if the rent's 3,000, he's paying 1,500 a month.
oh, I mean,
He's making at least 3,000 off of YouTube a month.
Oh, he makes more than 3,000.
About 7K.
He could. I don't think he makes 7K. He probably well, you know, he could. I don't know. I don't know his views. Dude, if I mean, is it just them in a apartment?
Yeah.
So if they have a 1 bedroom, oh, dude, if they have a 1 bedroom, it's easily. I would say it's like under 4K, but over 35.
She got a grown ass kid.
Does the kid?
She a cougar. She like 50.
She's 50.
She's somewhere up there. Her name Tamika Wilson, or Tamika Walker. Tamika Wilson or Tamika Walker.
She don't look 50. I thought she was his age.
Pushing 50.
Really? Oh, I didn't know
that.
She was
arrested in 1993 for fucking distributing marijuana.
Okay, 93. So she's at least 18, 75. Okay. Well, you know, she doesn't look bad for her age. I mean, you know, black don't crack, as they say. So, and then I don't. How old is Milk?
28, something like that. 27.
That's
Jake the same age. I beat the fuck out of both of them jits though.
That's a rough 27. I thought he was like 30. I thought he was in his 30s.
I thought he would fix his tooth by now.
Yeah, I mean, he's I don't know. I'm curious as to what he does with his money, because I mean, I don't know. He's doing his thing. I'm not trying to hate on either of them. Okay, so getting away again from them. So on YouTube, when you're watching stuff, you like UFO stuff or whatever.
Say that again.
Like when you get off of work and you're just like looking up YouTube, like other than the prison,
it's
like
kind
YouTube,
of random. Like, I don't have a schedule when it comes to YouTube. Most of my reaction videos that come with the prison genre, where I react to another prison YouTuber or somebody in the drama guidelines. Somebody sent me the video 9 times out of 10 and was like, yo, this motherfucker, check with this like the 1090 Jake shit on the Fresh and Fit podcast. I would have never sat there and watched fucking 3 hours of Fresh and Fit with this fat cake ball on there. But somebody sent me a clip of when he decided to talk about me. That's how I know about it. So when it comes to that, yeah, boom, automatically, that's free content. You want to talk about me? That's free fucking content all day to me. Any YouTuber, you want to talk about me? That's free. Any YouTuber that's bigger than me and has a lot of subscribers, if you decide to bring me, which is mostly every person I'm beefing with is bigger than me, has more subscribers. If you talk about me, of course I'm going to react to you talking about me. That's free content. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, I have no schedule when it comes to YouTube. It's like, you know, some days it'll be slow with the company, and, you know, I'll just be like, fuck it, I'm finna go home. And I'm park the truck up. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna goddamn do some videos, smoke a couple blunts, turn some music on, and get in the vibe and just do some videos.
We were talking on the phone about your channel and stuff like that, and I gave you my opinion about like what you can do, and one of my opinions was like, why don't you talk about current events? But you were saying like, because I mean, you really like literally you kind of stay in your own lane. Like you don't worry about what's around you. You're like you're it's like your family, and you're like whatever with anything else. But how come you don't first of all, bro, you need to upload every day. I told you that. Like upload, bro.
So
You
many
don't
people have
realize,
told me that. I guess I gotta get myself to the point where I got content built up and locked inside of my studio to where I could release one every day and still do content and keep it pushing. Because that's
bro.
what it takes for YouTube.
Yeah, dude. Right now, I'm not a YouTube coach. This is just my personal opinion. Right now, your subscribers that are watching you right now on your channel, and they, if they don't agree with me, they're smoking bubble gum, which I think you can't smoke. They want, dude. Let me tell you. I'm telling you right now. I'm a little bit older than you. I mean, quite a bit older than you. Your subscribers. Let me tell you this straight up, and they will say like, yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. When they see a crazy story online, it don't matter. It don't have to be anything to do with prison, anything. They they would want to know what you think about this crazy story. They would want, like, dude, okay, for instance, in Columbus, Ohio, it was like 1:45 in the morning. Black dude was outside of a club on High Street. If anybody don't know what High Street is in Columbus, don't be on High Street in Columbus. That's bad news. He was whatever doing whatever. He gets to shoot with somebody. He squares up. They're doing this. They're doing that. He does this, but he stops. Like he doesn't connect. He just like that. He stops. This bastard sucker punches him. Clock. He falls, hits his head, and then he smacks him a couple times. He leaves. This guy dies. That story, bro. Any of your subscribers, if they seen that, you don't got to play the video of him getting basically killed, but they want to hear your opinion. They
Yeah,
want.
no, you're right.
I wonder what Pino thinks about this. That then maybe they're not all thinking that, but that's. I mean, me personally, bro, I don't know why you don't do it. I mean, you don't have to do it
It's
every day.
more along the lines of like, I'm not a full-time YouTuber. More like, excuse me. We'll use K-Frog for instance, another YouTuber that I have an online beef with.
K Frog, K Frog is listening. What is going on, my friend? How are we doing?
Gay Frog. I like to call him Gay Frog. We'll use Gay Frog for an example.
You feel me?
He has, you feel me? You feel me? The Sandlot Kid.
You feel me? You feel me?
He has no full-time job. He has no other source of income besides his YouTube channels, his K-Frog TV and K-Frog Gaming. So when somebody attacks his channel, he feels like if I've had plenty of smaller YouTubers come at me on their channel and I just don't fucking pay them no mind because it doesn't benefit me in any shape or form to even fucking pay them any mind. You see what I'm saying? The only person that's benefiting is them. So, but at the end of the day, that's his full livelihood, his income. He wakes up and like when we would wake up or I don't know if you're a full-time YouTuber or not, but like when I wake up, YouTube is not on my mind. The company's on my mind. The customer's on my mind. Calling the customer is on my mind. Calling some workers, making sure they're showing up on time is on my mind. That shit is on my mind. The YouTube shit is not on my mind. So
right.
When you come at me and you're a smaller channel, I might 9 times out of 10, I might not even watch your fucking video. Sorry to break it to you, to all the smaller channels that have made a video about me, because I see the video, but I don't click on it. For the simple fact is it doesn't benefit me in any shape or form to even pay you any type of mind. And I'm not the self-conscious one where YouTube is my livelihood, where if you take YouTube, oh my God, I gotta fucking make a video about you or this, that, and the third. Like, bitch, you can't run me away in real life. You damn sure can't run me away from a screen. You know what I mean? And it just is what it is. You can't run me away in real life. You fucking for sure would never run me away through a screen. No matter what type of image you want to paint with your 800,000 subscribers, 70,000 subscribers, 60,000 subscribers, no matter what image you want to paint about me, you can't run me away. You can't. You can't do it in real life. You can't do it through a screen. And
But
this is just entertainment for me. Literally, YouTube, for me, YouTube pays insurance on 3 vehicles. It pays full coverage on 2 vehicles, and it pays full coverage on a truck, on a 16-foot box truck. And
right. So
the rest of the money, I might go to the casino or buy a toy for my son or my daughter or whatever, you know.
Right. So you are making, so that YouTube money does come in handy.
Yeah, for sure. It covers, it's for the last year and a half, it's covered insurance on 3 vehicles. Full coverage. It's not cheap either in Florida. I have 2 accidents under my name, so it's not cheap.
Okay.
What they call it in Florida is a claim. I have 2 claims under my name.
Damn.
When you get in the accident, I got hit twice, and I was like, "Fuck that shit, my neck, my back," and they paid me. It's only a $10,000 deductible, but after the lawyer walks off, you only get like $7K. But that's a free $7K if a bitch hit you and they at fault in Florida. That's a free $7K, but it makes your insurance go up a little bit. So,
of course, they're going to get their money back.
Somebody hit me from the back. I had a brand new 2022 Ford EcoSport. Somebody hit me from the back. I was getting onto the turnpike, and they said their foot slipped off the brake. They were in the truck. They totaled the back of the car. I didn't scream my neck, my back, for the simple fact I didn't want my insurance to keep going up, bro. I already got 2 of them on my 2 claims on my record, and the insurance company see that. So if I would put another claim, my shit would have went up even more. That's how Florida goes. But I have full coverage, so I got a new vehicle and all that shit covered. You know what I mean? But I didn't sue their insurance company.
But let me ask you this. Why not give it we've talked about this on the phone. Why not give it a try on YouTube? Keep your job, because listen, I told you this on the phone. Like, I don't have kids. It was easy for me to take a risk to be like, all right, man, should I quit my job now? It's like, who cares? I'm washing dishes. I live in the minivan. Who cares? But you got kids. You don't have, so, you got to be more mindful. But why not say to yourself, and listen, if I didn't believe you couldn't do it, I wouldn't be telling you this.
No, I know I could become a full-time YouTuber.
You could, eventually you could. Or you could balance both of them. Like, I mean, because sometimes, bro, I'll be like, what's Pino talking about? He ain't uploaded 6 days. I'm like, all right. And they're like, what's Pino talking about? 11 days. What the hell are you doing? 11 days?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I don't be feeling that shit sometimes. I'll be like, man.
Bro, you need to, bro. Hey, listen. Hey, I told you before, like I said, bro, you need to download Opera News or Newsbreak. Bro, you need to get those.
I still got CNN on my phone, Newsbreak CNN, so I see all the new shit when it comes out.
Well, screw CNN. I'm talking about like Newsbreak. Bro, when you get a vampire bites off neck of woman, bro, all you gotta do is bro, 3 minutes. Just like, man, so check this out and read this, bro. You could read the story. You don't gotta be professional. You can work up to that later. I'm just saying, bro. Me personally, dude, people are gonna be like, bro, why 5 days, dude? You got subscribers that are like 3 days. They're going crazy, and it's not like a fanboy or fangirl. Well, maybe it could be fangirls, but just it's like they're like, man, like what, dude, bro. There's a bunch of stories that I'm like, I wonder what he thinks about this, or I wonder what this YouTuber thinks about that. I mean, I get that you're not into it, but bro, I mean.
Nah, you're right. And I could potentially make a lot more money. And honestly, I'm about anything that does make more money.
I mean, bro,
I would have to train myself to put that into my schedule. I would have to literally, because my scheduling is so random. So I would have to literally train myself to put that into my schedule. YouTube every day.
Yeah, yeah, and I will give a good example of a YouTuber who does not do any fancy anything. He does everything on his phone, and he makes a lot of money on YouTube. And that's Hassan Campbell,
Oh yeah.
bro. You know, I like Hassan Campbell. I don't like
Let's
when he does
get
like the
into
race.
Hassan. Let me hear your thoughts on Hassan, because you said you wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, Hassan Campbell, I like him. He's a smart dude. I've been following him for not a year, less than a year, so I'm not an OG, whatever. I just don't like when he tries to do that black white racist. I mean, he is racist. It just is what it is. He's not like a black supremacist, but he could be. I mean, he could be. He just, and I'm not going to lie, other than the African Bambaataa, he's claimed that he touched on him or molested him or whatever. Other than that, I mean, I'm not trying to brush that off. That's some serious allegations. Other than that, I don't know much about him.
I don't even know what you're talking about with an African what? Bambaataa?
You know African Bambaataa?
I ain't got no idea what you're talking about.
They're a 1970s like funk band, like African Bambaataa, Parliament, Funkadelic. Trust me, rappers that you've listened to, like Ice Cube, they've sampled a lot of their music.
I just never heard of it.
Yeah, no. I mean, dude, I know. I mean, because the only reason why I know African Bambaataa and you don't is because I'm older than you. That's it. Like, okay. If I were your age, I wouldn't know who the hell they are either. Basically, I'll just tell you this: African Bambaataa, they're a black, kind of like a funkadelic, kind of like band from the 70s, right?
Okay.
I'd be lying if I told you I know exactly what song they've produced, but they're very well known. They're very well known. Not, I mean, you know George Clinton. You ever heard of him? Yeah. Okay, George Clinton is probably like the most famous musician or Sly, like Sly and the Family Stone. That, like, we're talking about like 50 years. So I don't expect you to know who they are. But
so
African Bambaataa. Say that again.
He was a part of that group.
As far as I know, no. African Bambaataa, I don't know who's the lead singer. I don't really know much about him. I'm a rock and roll guy. I don't listen to funk music. But Hassan Campbell, he said that the lead singer or somebody from African Bambaataa molested him. Like, straight up. Oh, straight up. This ain't no secret. Oh, he said it. That's why in the comments, like, dude, go make a video about Hassan Campbell tomorrow. Somebody will be like, "Oh, Thai-san." They call him like Thai-san, like that's like a troll name.
Yeah, but that's not funny to me.
It really ain't to me either. I don't think it's funny, because if it's a weird. I mean, I don't want to call it a claim because I wasn't there, but I mean, bro, it takes some guts to admit that you were sexually assaulted, and why would you make up something like that? Why would you lie about that?
You would just make up.
So I'm gonna believe him. So he got known.
I won't. The type of person I am. Sorry to cut you off. The type of person I am. I wouldn't pick on him for that. I kind of feel bad for him. You know what I mean? Like, that he's not the only person that's been molested. There's tons of people that've been molested, and it's ruined their whole life. It's psychologically ruined their whole life.
Definitely. And so he got known from that, and then he comments on like black YouTube rappers. He's a great when it comes to, like, bro, he ripped Remy Ma a new one, but he does it in a good way. Like in the Bronx, like they named this street after Remy Ma, and he's like, yeah, that's cool, but you rap about black people killing black people. So, like, what is that? So he calls hip hop out on themselves, and I like that about him. Like, he's not a dummy. But then he does like this whole like oh, you're white. Like he was like beefing with 1090 Jake. Like you're white. You don't need to be speaking on uh black stuff. And it's
Yeah, I
like, yo,
disagree with
bro,
that.
come on, bro.
I
It's like, bro,
disagree with that. He's part of a black organization. There's people that are saying that he's part of that organization. So what the fuck? You can't tell him not to speak on his politics.
yeah, it's like, yo, bro, you're hella light skinned. I know you ain't full black, and people told me they're like, oh, he's Spanish and he's just Spanish or he's Spanish black. I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. But bro, you hella high yellow, and you're talking about like black stuff. It's like don't tell 1090 Jake he can't speak on like black politics or black news. You did.
What's your background? Somebody just commented, "What's your background?"
Oh, my background. Yeah, that's there's a horrible rumor going around that I'm mixed. I'm white.
You're what? Okay, so
100% white.
you do look mixed. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's yeah, I have to get a 23andMe DNA. I'll just say this. Me and my mother are going to have a very serious conversation in January of 2023 because this is ridiculous. Like I know I know my voice. I may not look white, but as far as I know, my mother's white, my father's white, my brother and my sister, they're both white, so everything is going to be all right. I guess that 23andMe DNA test is going to dispel all the rumors.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
figure it out. To be
Yeah,
continued.
yeah, I'm not white power. I don't do none. I don't do black power. I don't do la raza or nothing like that. I'm a white. Listen, I'm a white man on YouTube, and it's some people they get confused because they're like, yeah, he doesn't really speak white or he doesn't look white or and listen, 23andMe will let me know in the future, right? And listen, yeah, and it's okay. I know I'm a little bit too interested into black politics. I don't know why. Don't ask me. It's just I don't know. I mean, if to address all of Pino's followers right now, I'm looking at you guys. What's going on? How's everybody doing? I mean, me personally, I am white. I don't know. You guys are like maybe you're thinking anything weird. I'm looking right at you. I mean, come on. Like, what's I'm just as white as anybody else on this platform that I'm on right now. Let that be said. But no, I like Hassan Campbell. I just I don't man this like man he loves to go, bro. When Hassan Campbell when he sees like another YouTuber that's blowing up, oh, like a shark. Like he's like, oh, he was on 1090 Jake. He's like, hey, Jake, go tell your grandparents when they used to be black slaves. It's like, bro, he's from Massachusetts. There's no slavery there.
Yeah,
Like,
but
like
at the
stop
end of the
it.
day, nobody really knows where 1090 Jake's even from. Nobody knows if he's
I
from
mean,
Tampa or
yeah,
Austin or. After
I,
I beat him up, he talked like he was from Florida.
he his accent will go from maybe you hit him so hard that his accent went back to Massachusetts. You think that's what happened?
I don't know. I think Hassan Campbell, I agree with some of the stuff he says, like especially about calling out the hip hop community on certain shit, because like a lot of shit in the hip hop community that the hip hop community does promote is bullshit.
Oh, it's
It's
super
bullshit.
negative. It's
Bullshit. It's complete bullshit. And you have kids looking up to this shit and looking up to these rappers who saying spin the block on your ops and all that. And when I like to see when people call, them out on that type of shit. Charleston White is another one. He likes to call rappers out on their bullshit. And I agree with some of the stuff, and I hate to say this because I don't like Charleston White, period.
Yeah, you told me that, yeah.
As an individual, I despise him. He stated that he does the RAPE word to women, and he's along the lines of a whole lot of other racial stuff. But he does speak some truth, just like Hassan, when it comes to the hip hop community and when it comes to these rappers.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I mean, if we're gonna be for the community, if people who grew up in that type of community, and that, like, I grew up in a rough neighborhood. I was one of the only white people in the neighborhood. But the way I grew up is I don't want other people to grow up like that. You know what I mean? I would like to see a change. I would like to. I like listening to people call rappers out on their bullshit.
Yeah,
I do.
I mean, I agree.
100%.
Why didn't
you the same anymore? You cannot make a rap song right now without talking about you literally have to use these 5 words: op, some type of gun, bitch, drugs, lean. That's it. You have to use those 5 words, and you just made a fucking rap song. It is no longer about like rap. I don't even like the new shit. Half of the new shit I don't even like, bro.
Yeah, it used to be. I mean, no, you're 150% correct. By the way, guys, 150, that is not some kind of gang sign. I'm not from a gang. I'm just saying 150. I could have said 112. I could have said 111. I could have said 172. Just saying, I'm trying to tell him more than 100%. I agree. It's sad, but it's the sign of the times. And even if you have conscious rappers like J. Cole, who J. Cole is immensely talented.
Oh yeah, very.
But I mean, he's talking about one of the
J.
things.
Cole making songs about spinning blocks and
No,
ops and carrying Glocks. And
he's very conscious and super talented. He doesn't need to do that. And Jay-Z, Eminem, they don't need to do stuff like that. But then you got guys like what's that one rapper that got locked up? What's the who?
Who Shiesty?
Yeah. I mean, dude, this guy was like, I mean, bro, like he got what he's got, like 5 years in prison.
I don't feel bad for him.
No, dude, he's a moron. Dude, you're doing. I'm gonna start yelling dude, this guy. In case nobody knows who I'm talking about, Pooh Shiesty. And I'm talking to my people, whoever's on my. Dude, Pooh Shiesty, he was like what 20, 21 from Memphis.
Yeah,
he blew up as a rapper. And so guess what this guy does? So he gets like a rap song on YouTube or whatever, and it gets millions and millions of views, and he's like making a lot of money. What does he do? Let me continue the nonsense. Like he gets arrested for like trying to rob. Like I don't know what did he try to do? Like rob a?
I guess rob a weed man or a promoter.
It's something stupid. Dude, this guy is making a lot of money. He decides he wants to rob somebody for weed. It's like imagine someone gave you $300,000. They're like, all right, man, here you go. And then you want to buy like $5,000 of weed. And then he robbed them. It's like, why not just pay for it? No, he would rather be an idiot. And then he got more than 5 years, like a little bit more than 5. And he's young. When he gets out, he'll be 27, 28, 29. Like,
hopefully he gonna learn.
No, he won't.
Some people learn, some people don't.
He's not gonna. What we learning is nothing. This guy, he's an idiot. Like, bro, this was not like a $200,000 drug. This was like a couple $1,000. He's so stupid and enamored and wrapped up into his gang lifestyle of trying to be like a gangster. By the way, I got to go to that apartment or whatever it was at when I get to Florida. And we'll link up if you're not busy when I get to Florida. I don't know when that will be. I'm guessing like early next year. I gotta go do a video at that place because that video is so stupid, and it just shows the nonsense. It shows.
I know exactly where it's at.
What city was it in?
Miami.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I don't like Miami. Like Fort Lauderdale, like up north, like once I get at it, when I get to like Fort Lauderdale, I'm like, okay, cool. I don't like the East Coast, South Florida. I don't like it, bro. It's just it's too much. But listen, if we
Born and raised down here.
hey, when I go down there, if we link up, uh, if we go down to Miami, do I need to carry a piece with me or?
Nah. I mean, if are you a convicted felon?
No.
Yeah, bring it. Shit, I would recommend you bring it everywhere you motherfucking go.
Because it
if
jams.
You're not a convicted felon, if you're legal, bring that bitch everywhere you go.
Well, let me show you. Let me show you. Like, where is it? I don't even know. I'm just. I don't think I have it with me.
Oh, you ain't gotta show me.
No. I mean, no. I want to show you. Like, I think it's in my. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Next time we go live, it's a flare gun, bro.
Oh, a flare gun.
Hey, listen.
That bitch will fuck you up.
It will. I mean,
man, if you shoot a flare gun at somebody's face, you gonna fuck them up.
Yeah, you will. But it has to be. You got to be. Yeah, close. Yeah, you got to be about 20, less than 20 feet. It's more like mace. Like, but if I'm telling you, my homeboy's homeboy is from New York. A flare gun saved his life because like he owed some dudes like money over dope, and like they were in the car and they were about to get out. He shot that flare gun in the car, lit it on fire, and they just ran for their lives. He just ran. So ever since then, I always carry a flare gun. I got bear mace. I got bear mace. That'll sting your eyes. But by the way, speaking about bear mace, do you know the story about the bear guy in Alaska, the grizzly man?
He lived with the bears and then the bear ended up eating him.
Why don't you do a reaction to the audio?
I heard the audio one time. I don't remember where or when I heard it. But that's the type of shit I'm into on YouTube. That's the type of shit that comes across my feed.
Bro, I need to one day go to where every time I think it is and when I'm not smiling right now. I am kind of smiling, but this ain't funny. If nobody knows what we're talking about on both channels right now, well, when we're done going live, go put in Grizzly Man eaten by bears audio.
It's nuts. I know. I've heard it. It's nuts.
Bro. Let me say I'm not trying to make fun. I don't do that. Like when people get killed, making fun. Bro, there's a part I listened. What was like 2 minutes of audio?
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 minutes.
Bro, there's a part in there. I'll never forget this. So let me paint you guys a picture if nobody's listened to this. There was a guy, I don't know his name. He was like, wild man. Oh, like he's in the wild, right? He thinks a bear's his friend, right? This guy's, weird. So, and this guy was like one of these like bleeding heart liberals. He didn't like guns. He didn't carry a gun. This guy would camp in the wilderness in Alaska. Did not have a gun on him at all. This mofo, like, okay, so he has a camera, and there's like 2 grizzly bears, like out, like maybe 1 or 2. I don't remember. So his camera's on him. He's like, look at those grizzly bears. Look at those grizzly bears. And they get close to him, right? And then basically the audio's still recording, but the lens I guess he put the lens on and it was still recording. So there's no video, but there's audio. These bears go up to him and his wife or his girlfriend, and they ate him alive. And he screamed, like he's screaming at first, right? And then he fought for his life. I'm not even gonna mimic the sounds he made. I just remember this one sound he made. Oh my God. It wasn't even he was like, it was like he was doing all that. And then it was just like he was basically dead. He was food. The bear was eating him. And he's like, yeah. Because he was eating his testicles. I mean, I'm not even trying to make fun.
That's a hell of a way to go out.
Pino needs to make a reaction. I'm not laughing at him because it's and I don't know if you were listening to me. Like, he didn't carry a gun. He was like anti-gun. Bro, reacting to grizzly man being eaten alive by bears.
That's just crazy.
I passed you the ball. I don't know if you're gonna go for a touchdown or you're gonna hand it off to somebody else.
I'll do a reaction. The thing is with reaction video, like I reacted to that guy going crazy with the hatchet in New York. They like to put
I seen that. Yeah. Like,
they like to restrict my shit, though. They like to put 18 and over on my shit.
Okay, so for you gotta learn to like. Okay, so you already so maybe you didn't know, but if you choose to react to that, yeah, you're gonna get an 8. That's why you do a 2 upload a day. That's that upload. That's your second upload of the day, but that's
Right.
gonna get you subscribers. So yeah, homeboy had a hatch. Man, can you? And I seen the video, but on your channel, that was the first time I seen the actual video. And that dude pulled out a hatchet. Can you believe when he was sitting down in the booth looking at the girl and then her boyfriend or
you heard
her
what
little...
he told her? He said, y'all trying he got up in her face and said, y'all over here trying to impress this bitch? They trying to impress you? And then he smashed the table and it just fucking shattered. I was like, holy shit. Holy shit, bro.
Dude, this guy had a hatchet. And what was he at, a mall or a food court?
A food court somewhere in New York.
And just smashing going crazy, smashing stuff. And then what got me was he's at the booth. He's in the little booth, like the little table, and there's a guy and a girl, and he has a hatchet, and he's like, he's talking to the girl, and then the guy is like he's like doing...
Yeah.
And I said, bro, like, why are you got a guy with a hatchet next to your woman?
That shit crazy.
Stuff like that.
Reach in his backpack and pull the hatchet out. He should have never gave him that chance.
Videos like that, you're not gonna get monetized, but you see that's why you, when you upload, then you start figuring out like, okay, I can upload this, but I can't upload that, but I'll upload that anyways. And then you start like thinking, okay, if I and then you get an app, and then you start like trying to cut stuff, and like, all right, well, I'm telling you, bro, like, dude, you could make a pretty penny, bro. You just gotta upload, even if it's 2 minutes. 2 minutes. You could do what Hassan Campbell does. He puts the picture. He don't do no reaction. Like, I mean, he does reaction, but he don't play no video. He does the video. Like, he put the picture. He's like, "Shall we begin?" And then he just starts talking about this guy on the it's genius in a sense, but
he does that through the iPhone app. iPhone movie.
And people don't watch Hassan Campbell for his technological great edited videos. They want to hear what he has to say about nonsense. And his hardcore subscribers, they're going to rock with him regardless of how he looks. and I have that kind of crowd. You have that kind of crowd. You need to like. I mean, that would not be good for me because I got the other channel and I guess But bro, bro,
Yeah,
like you could just like
agree. I agree.
yeah, you just I don't know. I that's always mystified me about you is I'm like, damn, this you went on, dude, you went on, no jumper. I was like, dang, and that was, dude, that's as big as you can get. But dude, you can still make it happen. I mean, if you wanted to.
Right.
Grizzly
I
guy,
didn't even upload when I went on no jumper. I didn't even upload after I went on no jumper for like a
bro.
month
I
and a
was
half.
telling Jay Coffee Talk. I said this dude is not uploading. What? I mean, it's I. It's you're just not concerned with it, which I respect. Okay, you're not concerned with it. Oh my god, bro! I was like, why isn't he uploading?
Yeah, I think
I'd have
that's more along
uploaded.
the lines. I need to put it as a more of a priority.
I mean, and listen, just one day when you're bored, you know what I mean. One day when you're bored, and I trust me, I know you've had good months where you're like, damn, I made that. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
I know you're kind of like, eh. I'm I'm telling you, dude, you could make YouTube your. I mean, you could be like, I know you don't like K Frog, but and I don't. I guess he has kids or he doesn't have kids. I don't know nothing about him, but I mean, he's made it his whole thing. If he could
yeah.
do it, I mean, and I'm not a K Frog guy. I don't hate on him.
I
I
can't
just
do that though. I can't sit there and do what he do. He just sit there and cap all day. He got a fucking story for every man. This motherfucker did 24 months in prison, and he got a story for a motherfucker that did a life sentence. God damn it, he got a story. This bitch wake up and tell a prison story every day. I did
but
10 years. I can't tell that amount of stories.
you
That
don't
shit
have to
be
tell you don't have to tell those stories. You
he
could
be
just give.
capping though. He be all his stories are bullshit. It's not something that happened to him. A lot of them are made up or something that happened to somebody else.
Yeah, but
Shit.
I give him credit that he just found whatever lane, but I don't think he realizes it that he doesn't have to do that anymore. Like he I mean, I've kind of looked at his channel just like up and down. And it's like pure like prison stories. And maybe he doesn't know this, but it's like, yo, bro, you don't gotta constantly talk about prison stories.
I
You
don't
can
even
talk
like
about
talking about. And people love when I talk about prison. I I literally only tell prison stories just for my supporters. I don't like calling people fans. Um, I would rather call them supporters or a
right.
backbone, whatever. Um, but I literally only upload every now and then prison stories um, for my audience. I don't do it for me or to sound cool or any of that other shit. Um, a lot of the stories I tell are just like life lessons or memories that have stuck with me. They're not made up stories. They're not fucking something I seen happen to somebody else. There's shit that's actually happened to me or shit that I've actually been through, which is a whole lot. And that's what people are interested in. That's why I mix up my content. I'll tell some stuff like that, but at the end of the day, that's not like my main focus. Not what I like to do. I'm more along the lines like to I like to go out to Universal and vlog it with my family. You know what I mean? Or go on a roller coaster and throw up and vlog it. You know what I mean? That's just the type of shit I like to do. Or the tortilla challenge, like I did with my wife. I like doing that type of shit. Or reaction videos. I like doing that type of shit too. But the prison stories, they come here and there because it's just not something I like to fucking talk about. Honestly, I fucking anybody who did an enormous amount of time institutionalized, they don't like to talk about it. You don't
Yeah,
see you don't see Big Herc over there talking about the time he did in prison all the time. You don't see him every day waking up talking about the time he did in prison. Wes Watson, he'll tell a prison story here and there, but everything else is inspirational because he doesn't want to fucking tell all the grimy details of fucking prison about having to fucking wipe down your fucking concrete slab just to put a mat on because the person that slept on it before you fucking picked their nose all night and wiped their boogers all over the wall and the concrete slab. You know, like this
Yeah,
shit I don't want to talk about.
Wes Watson. We'll talk about him on the next one. Like that guy, that dude.
For an example, I don't know too much about him, but it's
Yeah,
not
he's
like I said, he's not uploading a fucking prison story every day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, Wes Watson is. I'll just say this: like, if you still follow Wes Watson, I
don't follow him at all. I don't follow.
No, not you. I mean, like anybody watching. Like, if you still watch, yeah.
What'd he do? What's up with him? I see the puke signs in the comments.
He's like a meme. He's like a character. It's like, yo, bro, dude, he's a movie. He's a fuck. I try not to cuss on this channel. He's like a television character from the 1980s. He's like, get out of here, like Wes Watson. I mean, yeah, it's just I don't know, but anyways, all right, man. Look, we're gonna end the live. For sure. And listen, we got to do this again soon. If anybody, I apologize to anybody who commented, and I didn't read their comments. I'm just like talking to Pino. If you guys don't know how to find Pino's channel, Kale should be like have already linked it in. Yeah, we got to do this again soon. And again, man, we'll talk again on the phone, bro. Like I'm telling you, man. I know it's like a second thought, but I'm telling you, once you get like once you do a video about a news topic, and it's like and you get 25,000 views, your mind will change. It'll go from it'll go from like, oh, it's paying my insurance to like, oh dang, I just paid my mortgage.
Right.
And then it'll I'm telling you. And I know people like drama. That's the good thing about your channel is like you don't need to. I mean, drama helps your channel. Drama helps my channel. Drama helps everything.
It helps everything.
But your opinion, people want to hear your opinion. People want to hear what you think, even if they disagree. They gotta respect that. Like, oh, all right, that's his opinion. With that being said,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
At the end of the day, they got no choice but to respect it. I mean, like,
that's right. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
your opinion. You can't. The one thing a person can't take from you is your opinion or your belief.
Yeah, and listen, I thank you for your time. I know you got your family.
Thank you too.
Yeah. All right, and guys, check out Pino's channel.
One thing before we go, if we missed anybody's comment and you want us to see your comment, drop the comment on the channel after this video is over. There will be a comment section. I appreciate all the donations that came in on both of our behalfs. I appreciate that shit, y'all, from the bottom of my heart. Mad love to y'all. Make sure you hit that like button too on both parties.
Yeah, very good. All right, we'll see you guys later, and thanks for being a part of this, and we'll do it again.
For sure.
All right, peace out.
Yes, sir.